For real? Oh, no. Let's go.
Boston.
State of OH. Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. on this NFL schedule release. PGA Championship, big sports comeback Thursday, May 14, 2026. This program begins now.
Sports!
That's right. It is the NFL schedule release day. Hallelujah. We know who's playing who, when, and where here in America and around the globe. I love that the game is obviously expanding to the entire tips of the planet Earth and that more folks are going to be introduced to the greatest sport on earth. And with flag football, it's going to be able to expand more than ever, easier than ever. And all of a sudden, we're talking 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the same type of thing to happen with the NBA. Whenever the Dream Team went over to the Olympics and dominated and became basically bigger than the Beatles and exposed everybody to a sport that they would fall in love with. And then eventually, potentially in this modern era, almost take over the sport.
Yeah.
Well, that same thing happened with football with these international games. I have no idea about the dominance, but I do know that Roger Goodell in the NFL loves if ball will be spread worldwide. But some NFL fans here in America say, what did Paris do to get a Pittsburgh Steelers game? What? The Saints don't get to experience Yinzers coming down to Bourbon Street because they've been preparing to watch that. Their vacations that they take once a year revolve around Pittsburgh Steelers away games. What city you sweet up? I'm going down and saying, what did Paris, France do to get the Pittsburgh Steelers, New Orleans Saints over there? There's some people that feel that way.
A lot. I saw the reaction.
Let's go to the toxic table at Boston Connor and one half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP, Tone, NFL schedule release day. Obviously, we already know all the international games. We know how some people feel.
Yeah.
Shrink the game, some people are saying.
Some.
We don't need that. But I think for the good of ball and for the good of the future of the sport, I do believe if we were to have a global type situation, I think that would benefit us. I don't think it would detract from us. But as we go through this entire thing, a lot of games moving overseas, a lot of teams missing out on moments. But remember, we're maybe going to add a game to the season soon with the next CBA. Nonetheless, tonight we find out all the primetime games.
Yep.
You have some teams that are just wishing for a night game.
Wishing.
Wishing for some teams. Okay, listen, allow me to speak, okay, for those people. The Indianapolis Colts, the first year that it was allowed that you weren't forced onto a Thursday night football game. Amazon comes in, more money comes in. It used to be Thursday night football. Everybody plays on Thursday night football. This is how this goes. So you get at least one primetime game a year. As soon as they dropped that little clause from what had to happen, the Colts had no primetime games for 2 years. We made jerseys, throwback jerseys, Indiana Knights jerseys. Yeah. She grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on them Indiana nights. The pain that they were trying to kill, there's no night games. Had to wear that jersey during the day. We find that out tonight. What teams are going to be focused in prime time? We know that the New York Giants already with leaks. First week, prime time.
Whoa.
Second week, prime time.
What?
Once again, the schedule makers do go back on hey, that's a huge market we can start the season with that we know is going to be watching, which is certainly, I guess, a part of the entirety of the job. But if they're ass in these first 2 weeks of John Harbaugh's kind of run, you're going to know it. And that's going to be a bad first taste in a lot of people's mouth for this new New York Giants.
Yeah.
But if they're great, that could catapult them into a monster year over there in the NFC East where everybody thinks they're going to have much more success than they've had over the past. But there's a lot of teams looking, where's the primetime games? When's the primetime games? And I think we can kind of get a gist of what the schedule makers, what the NFL, and what the overall thoughts are on teams with how many games are put into primetime for each team. They've certainly gotten it right over the last year, 2 years. There's been some down years where you can't really project injuries.
Correct.
Whenever there's a slew for a team of primetime games, week 5, week 7, week 5, week 6, week 7, whatever.
Sure.
Week 5, week 6, week 8. If there's injuries or your team's ass during that time, that is a big showcase to the world that your city sucks.
Yes.
Prime time, back to back to back. And it could be a great thing to be on prime time, but if you're on there in the wrong time, boy, that's going to be a hard narrative to kind of fight against for the rest of the season. Not that narratives matter, but it certainly makes your life a lot easier if you're in there. But if you get a primetime run here and your team hits it, like the Giants the first 2 weeks, whole story's different. Vibe's different. I assume confidence is different. And maybe the story of the entire NFL season could be different, Tone.
Yeah, I as a Steelers fan, I used to love primetime, especially when I was younger because I didn't care about staying up past midnight or whatever, and they were always really, really good on primetime. Ben was throwing for 500 yards a game on primetime, stuff like that. That was awesome. Now you fast forward to these days when they have not been so good on primetime, and you look at their schedule, and they have 3 straight primetime games, week 12, week 13, and week 14. So the whole country, you're on blast for the whole country if you're not playing well. Yes, that could be bad for a fan base. Some fan bases just love they're just so used to going to that 1 o'clock game. Their tailgate's the same. They always go at the same time. They always come home at the same time. They're good for Monday morning. But no, like tonight with the primetime games, there's like if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, you want every week to be primetime. Like you're so confident in your team. You're like, especially out on the West Coast, because that's so much earlier than here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You love the primetime games. But no, yes, there are some fan bases that love them and some that hate them.
And there's been leaks of games, Patriots kicking off the season potentially, con man. What have we been learning about the NFL's slow rollout of a few games here, a few games there? Thanksgiving Eve, we learn on Netflix.
Yes.
2 Goliaths battling. Then the leaked Thanksgiving Day kind of setup marquee could be an incredible Thanksgiving. It does feel like we're starting to learn a little bit more about these schedules days in advance, as opposed to everybody waiting until like 8 p.m. on Thursday night, which is what I think they used to try to do with this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of fun, though. You know, like, especially right now where we are kind of scratching and clawing. You know, there are playoffs in the NBA and NHL, and that's been fantastic. We've got the PGA Championship. That's great. The NFL drives the ship, okay? So now we have some things to circle on the calendar. I mean, for a Patriots fan right now, you don't really want to be on prime time just because then everything is front and center and everybody is going to continue to talk about that.
A lot of off-season chatter.
A lot of off-season chatter.
You guys are opening the
season. A lot of stuff going on.
Open.
Okay, yeah, we opened the season against Seattle, and yes, Cardi B's just mad at her baby daddy, okay? And he's not on New England anymore, so I'm sick of hearing about that too. But
Could be, though.
Could be, might be, probably will be. But for right now in time.
And also, Cardi, Stephon, we're happy to see you.
Hey, glad they're back
you guys
together.
happy.
Yeah, glad to see them talking in the same area. But now we know. Now I know on Wednesday, November, whatever it is before Thanksgiving, I'm going to be watching Packers-Rams. That's remarkable because sometimes when you look ahead to them and you mention like teams being injured and stuff, the Bengals and Ravens kind of come to mind from last year at least that were in prime. Chiefs towards the end of the season, those teams come to mind. It feels as though they've hit the ball kind of right where it should be as far as early in the year. Like the first week is going to be fantastic as far as primetime games go. And then the rollouts of it, I think the schedules are just hilarious. Some of those big teams, the Giants, we have all 17 of the New York Football Giants games. So that is what
somebody got anxious.
Yes, someone just wants everyone to know. Like, hey, the Giants are one of those teams that could be, hey, 4th overall pick to 30th pick who are making a run in the playoffs, and that might be the story of their year. And now you get to look at the schedule. Holy shit, here we go. Like, I, as a Patriots fan, know, hey, Seattle week 1, who knows? Week 2, Pittsburgh, we're going to beat the shit out of them. Okay? We are going to at least have one win after week 2.
The Steelers got 3 straight primetime games, brother, in meaningful football season.
They're already looking forward to them.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying is the schedule makers think, I think the NFL thinks, wait a minute, maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are a pretty good football team. Now, we do know that all these primetime options have the ability to flex out. A lot of these networks have not used the flex out option every time that we as fans have projected them to use the flex out option. Sure. I think it has to be like 17 days in advance or something like that, or like 3 weeks in advance. It can't start until week 10. Yeah. You have to give a heads up on when the projections, because if a team is just decimated with injuries and they're on prime time 2 weeks from now, I think you are allowed to flex it out for another game. But then now, with all the games having rights for what, you got to negotiate the rights out of that. I don't think it's just as easy as pick them out and get them out of there, but we would like it to become that easy.
Please.
We would like that to start happening.
Yeah,
we would like every week, whatever teams are good, playing on primetime, and that's what these schedule makers are trying to do. We will watch it tonight. The official schedule release show will be happening on primetime, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on May 14th. That's a great day.
Great day.
We're going to learn so much here today. We're going to learn what teams are potentially not going to be asked and who are we going to know nothing about going into the playoffs if they end up getting hot and winning. Because there's going to be teams that are going to be 1 o'clock across the board, regional television.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're not great. Yeah, right. A young nucleus comes together and rallies, and maybe they always rise to the occasion.
You trying to speak something into existence?
What's that?
You're just talking about the Colts.
Hey, we don't know how many primetime games Danny Dimes going to call for. They were the number 1 offense in the NFL through 10 weeks.
They were.
Let's not even worry about that. You might want them out there. Tonight, 8 to 10, though, as the NFL ESPN crew, alongside Kyle Brandt, representing for the NFL Network. Dan Orlovsky, fresh off a speaking engagement in Richmond. I know he's got it. Oh, it's an old train station, also a current train station.
He's a buffoon.
There's a train right over there. Tears.
Been thinking about that since we talked about it.
He's the best. Dan Orlovsky tonight is going to have so many opinions and ideas about things that he sees. There's going to be obviously the Mile High football games in Denver, you know, where it travels a little bit further, maybe a little bit harder to breathe late in the season. Who has to go out to Denver whenever maybe you're a little beat up and banged up throughout it? Who has to go to Denver early? Maybe their lungs can't handle the altitude too early in this entire thing. Who has to travel down to Miami in December? Northern team that is used to the cold. Then they go drop down into the massive humidity. Is that more of an advantage or a disadvantage? Can they not be able to handle it? How about early in the season in Miami? Somebody has to go down there and just, there's a chance that is quite a benefit. Laura Rutledge, Andrew Hawkins, Schrage baby, Kyle Brandt, Schefter, and I believe is that Joe Buck?
That is Joe Buck.
Joe looks young, doesn't he?
Yeah. Joe looks good.
Joe!
Hair's still
glowing.
All right, that's tonight, 8 to 10. We can't wait to follow along. Last night, it was in the title of this show. Today's show name is NFL Schedule Release.
Okay.
Because that's happening right now.
Important.
PGA Championship happening right now.
Yep.
We got boots on the ground that we will be talking to in the second hour down there. Already some immaculate highlights.
Yeah.
John Rahm, representing Liv, holes out from 101 yards out for an eagle this morning. Cam Smith, here's John Rahm with that short baby backswing because of the way he was born with his foot. So he takes a pure.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
101 yards out. How you doing? Keep it moving. That's an eagle at a major. My name's John Rahm. Cam Smith this morning was moving a little bit. Representing Liv. It feels like maybe a weight was lifted off these guys. You know, maybe we're watching it on TV more. Maybe they're playing a little bit different. Maybe now they know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel where maybe this will all get resolved, however the case goes. And maybe the Liv guys really shine this weekend. Or
they don't.
Scotty Scheffler, Rory, and the big dogs just kind of do their thing. Bryson DeChambeau tapped one about 50 feet by a hole this morning.
That's the mink, baby.
I mean, that is, you're right. That is the Aronimink. And the PGA Championship plays tough. What should we be expecting? And what was the gambling move here for this particular tourney? Go ahead. I know Michael Block was plus 500,000. I can't wait to follow along with that. I'll sprinkle a little cheddar on that. Obviously, he's already
So the story of the course leading up to this was whether it was going to be wet or not. They got a quarter inch of rain last night. They figured if it was going to be wet, it was going to play easier. Obviously, if it's dry and fast, it always plays hard. But with the rain all week, they thought it would be easier. Rory talked about he doesn't really have a plan this week other than to bomb it and then figure it out from there wherever it goes. They talked about it being a bomber's course all week long, so we will see that. But as far as gambling, you know, it was your classics up at the top, Rory and Scotty. Scotty was your favorite, then followed by Rory, and then all the other guys that are normally up there. Your Brysons, your Rahms, your Ludwig Oberg, Schauffele's, Cam Young, they're all up at the top there. But no, as right now, the top of the leaderboard is a lot of guys you wouldn't think are up at the top, but that'll filter out as the week goes on.
Can't wait to continue to follow along with the PGA Championship live from Philly and how the Johns go. Can't wait to see who rises to the occasion in a major, who's going to become undeniable, or who will come back to their greatness. Is Scotty Scheffler going to be able to putt?
Perhaps.
Is Scotty Scheffler going to be able to go crazy? Is Rory McIlroy going to be able to continue with that blister on his toenail?
Yeah.
He said he got a bigger shoe in his right shoe, so he can maybe handle that while he's walking around the course. We will follow along. Stanford Steve did a round of golf with Scotty Scheffler.
No way.
That's cool.
They were just walking together. I don't know if you saw them in the fairway.
The other round?
No, it was the round.
Oh,
the other day.
Yeah, it was the other day. It was the roundo. Him, Scott Van Pelt, Scotty Scheffler walking the course. I can't wait to catch up with him and see what he learned there. Are you going to pick it up? It's not just PGA. It's also big sports comebacks Thursday. Hey.
Huge.
Listen, when you're watching a game, this is why sports are the best, because everybody has to feel it. You have to feel it. When you're watching a game, you have an idea of what's going to happen at the end of the game because of how the rest of the game has begun. For instance, usually there is a chance that a team just goes wire to wire, and you feel that way at the beginning, you feel that way in the second quarter. Halftime, you go, this is kind of ass, and then just it does finish that way. A little bit of a letdown, but you live to see another day.
Yeah.
But sports provide something so magical. I think movies are trying to do this to you. Movies are trying to make you feel a certain way. Songs are trying to make you feel a certain way throughout the song. That's why there's so much like climactic buildup for all these things. Sports have an opportunity to make you feel something that nobody else can make you feel. It can make you feel like some team is about to get pounded. And then in real time, you see inspiration. In real time, you see resilience. In real time, you see grit. And then you see people become the happy side of a game as opposed to the this is ass side of the game, all because they execute. And when the moment is its biggest, when the lights are its brightest, you show up. And last night, 3 sports hit for us. Mm-hmm. Last night, 3 sports had miraculous comebacks, fun comebacks, incredible comebacks, things that make you go, wow, if you fell asleep, you missed it. Let's start with basketball, shall we? Let's go to Detroit with Eminem and 50 Cent courtside.
Oh.
50 Cent rocking Detroit stuff with his guy Marshall.
Yep.
Obviously, those two have incredible history together. They've made maybe 2 or 3 of the best albums in history together. And I'll tell you, it looked like it was Cade Cunningham's night. It looked like it was the Stones' night. Till they collapsed. They're feeling these traps. Yeah, and then Cleveland, 9-0 run to end the game, to send it to overtime, pick up the win in overtime. Everybody in Detroit was rocking their hands in the 3-1-3, having a blast that they were about to beat the CAVs. And instead, what happened is Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Evan Mobley and the boys said, excuse me, has this thing ended yet? And the Detroit Pistons were like, yeah, we're already out of here. Cavs turn it on, close the door, get to overtime, big time win. Huge comeback. Congrats to the Cavs. And is that a heart filled with Kool-Aid or blood over there? We'll ask Big Perk in about 25 minutes whenever he joins us. Obviously, he's had a lot of thoughts on his Cavs team. Obviously, a lot of thoughts on his Stones. And Foxy, you were one of those guys who thought, Mom spaghetti, you weren't even nervous. There was no worry. You were feeling great for that. You were texting Stones, baby, in front of Eminem and 50 Cent. Bruce is texting into the group, what the hell did Dolan do to 50 Cent?
Good question.
Why is 50 Cent in everybody else's gear, basically? What is going on? I think he was just supporting Eminem. Obviously, Eminem supporting the city. He's become a big-time figure in the sports culture up there in Detroit. Performing, putting together performances, showing up at every game, loving the teams. That was a huge night last night for Detroit. That's how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, 100%, Pat. If you would have told me that Eminem and 50 Cent were courtside in the game and that Cade Cunningham would have 39 points and we would be up by 9 points with 3 minutes to go, I would have bet $1 billion that the Pistons win that game. Instead, for whatever reason, with 3 minutes to go, we did nothing on offense, a bunch of shot clock violations, and the Cavs just answered. That's what they do. And I'm going to blame Big Perk because he woke up James Harden. James Harden has been spectacular since Big Perk said all that stuff about Kool-Aid in his veins. So I'm mad at him, and ultimately I'm mad because we have an all-star center that's not showing up. You're not going to win games if your all-star center hasn't showed up for the entire playoffs. Cade's doing his best, but he needs some help. So we'll see.
Cade looked locked in last night. That was
He's
fine.
awesome.
He is spectacular. And obviously, basketball has that massive comeback in front of Eminem and 50, which we don't like. Okay, we want Stones to do their thing.
Yeah.
We'd like that night to be legendary.
Would be cool.
Who knows what happens? They put a microphone in 50's hand afterwards and Eminem's hand on the court right there. I got a chance to experience a 50 concert just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. 103 on the tape. By the way, we got Jacob Mizrowski joining us here in about 13 minutes. He threw 49 pitches over 100 miles an hour last night. That's a record, obviously. He'll be joining us from the Brewers, rookie sensation. That's what 50's still doing on the mic. I assume Eminem is as well. That could have been one of the greatest nights in the history of Detroit last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, am I crazy to say that those are the two greatest rappers of all time right there, together in one place? It's insane.
Hey, listen, you said Stones and you got judged for that. So if you want to judge rappers as well, you can certainly get into that game. I appreciate you doing that. Let's pivot away from the basketball comeback. Let's go to the NHL. Hey, listen, 3-0. This Avalanche team cooked. They lose one game, finally, in this series, and they can't respond.
Nope.
We wondered about teams that had clean sweeps going throughout the playoffs. 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. Are you ever going to be able to have to deal with a loss? What about when adversity strikes? How's the locker room, the change room going to go? Are they going to start pointing fingers or nubs at each other? Are they going to be able to handle the loss, adjust, and move forward? The Avalanche lose to the Wild. Has Quinn Hughes figured it out?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Then they go down 3-0. You turn on TV, it's 3-0 Wild.
Huh.
Holy shit, Quinn Hughes has done it.
Oh, going back to Minnesota.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the Avalanche said, why don't you guys check some stats real quick? Is this a 1-period game? Is this a 2-period game? Or is there 3 periods in hockey? We would like to know. In the first period of the playoffs, they have no idea they're playing in a game. They have no clue what's going on. -2 goal differential. In the second period, +2. Hey, not bad here. We're winning the second period. Third period, that's why we're doing the flippers in the pool. We are training at altitude all the time. We are in better shape than you. We will pound you. plus 12 in the third period. And obviously they come back from down 3-0 last night to win in a thriller to basically celebrate them being what everybody has said they are. This team's the one, potentially, and has been since the very beginning. Joining us now is a 13-year NHL vet, a man who will tell us a little bit more about what this meant for this Avalanche team and what this means for the playoffs going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, PK Subban.
Yeah, PK!
You thought...
AJ and PK, ole, 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 ole.
AJ and PK, ole, ole, ole. We got no AJ, here's PK. Good to see you, man. They were doing that last night in Colorado's change room, I assume, going, hole, 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 shite. Down 3-0. They come back. What did this say for you? And were you worried about them early that maybe the adversity came and they weren't going to be who they were potentially for the rest of the season?
Ironically, at the time when Minnesota had looked like they were going up 3-0 and there was the debate on whether it was the goal was going to count or not, Dave Gibson from ESPN had called me and we were discussing that. And he's like, oh, is this going to count? He's like, man, I don't know. This doesn't look good. And I said, well, this game's long from over. It's long from over. And the reason why is you look at that second period. When Colorado scores with, under 10 minutes, I think it was left in the second. I think there might have been 2 minutes or 3 minutes left in. That changes the whole game, right? They get the goal now. They go back in. They're going to get another goal. And to me, their execution down the stretch, being down 3-0, and we saw Minnesota do it, come back, being down 3-0, 4-3 earlier in the series, and then ended up losing the game. To me, Colorado showed over this series that, A, their depth weighed heavily on Minnesota's non-depth in certain situations. I said it earlier, losing Middleton, losing Brodin, those are key pieces. Even though you got those are key pieces in big holes, and Colorado exploited it by their consistent execution. They showed that they have championship pedigree. Nathan McKinnon, my goodness, I know the Kentucky Derby happened, but he looked shot out of a cannon from the Kentucky Derby coming through the neutral zone before he ties that game. He's an absolute horse. So they got the star power in him and Cale Makar to put it all together. Minnesota's got that star power, but too many holes right now for them. And even as the management, I'm sure if you ask Bill Guerin or even John Hines, they're proud of their group because they know missing those two guys are key cogs. You're not going to beat a team like Colorado missing those key plays. You just can't do it. So I think what happened was bound to happen. The team that was well-equipped for that moment is Colorado, and they're a well-oiled machine right now.
Yeah, talk about a well-oiled machine. Let's talk about the machine, McKinnon, who you were talking about. 53 regular season goals that led the NHL. 7 playoff goals. He leads goal scoring in the playoffs. The last player to do both is Alex Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game. So I think he's in pretty good company. Obviously, the change room is stacked and packed over there. A lot was made of him and his flippers down there in that pool when people were recording it. And then we show you the goal differential plus minus from the first period, second period, into the third period. Is it a chance at this team, because they are at Mile High, which has been, I think, everybody, every scientist and every guru has come together and said hyperbaric chamber good, right? Like I think everybody has kind of came together and said that, which is training it out to it. Are they the most, you said depth obviously helps them, but are they in the best shape as well at this stage? Do we think that is also something when you're bigger and in better shape and stronger? Could that be a story of the Avalanche team as well? Or am I making too much of the flippers in the pool actually being purposeful as opposed to just want to go flop around in a hotel pool?
I believe that they are. First of all, Nathan McKinnon, over the years, I've talked about Kucherov being in that MVP situation, and rightfully so for his impact on his team. But to a man, when you look at all of the top talents in this league, Nathan McKinnon's got to be right there with Connor McDavid, and he's such an explosive player. Personally, I've eliminated Colorado in the playoffs. I've had many battles against Nate, even though he's on the Western Conference. I've seen him grow as an individual as a teammate and now a leader. You hear it in his voice, the way he does interviews, all of those things. His influence from Sidney Crosby, Jared Bednar, the Colorado Avalanche as an organization, building that team around him. He is a product of all of that. And it's one of the best things that you're ever going to see across sports right now, what he's doing. I got to give him real flowers because, Kucherov's been great. McDavid's been great. But this guy's been absolutely the eye test, the numbers test, the entertainment, the explosiveness, the understanding of elevating his game in the moment. You're damn right he's in hell of shape. You can't perform that way without being in superb shape, and he's definitely mastered that. When we thought of Sidney Crosby set the standard for how you need to be in shape, I think Nathan McKinnon and McDavid now, but I think even Nathan McKinnon to a certain degree, that explosiveness and power in his game shows his commitment to being in the best shape possible.
McDavid's from Canada. Sidney's from Canada. Where's McKinnon from?
Canada.
Fuck.
Hey.
Still got silver.
He did. No, you know what?
They got a lot.
Hey, listen.
So do we. Happy birthday, Jack Hughes.
Happy birthday, Jack Hughes. Hey, happy birthday, Jackie.
Jackie, baby. Yep. Happy birthday to him.
Where's he from?
Yeah, we got a lot of. He's from Michigan. He's a Michigan boy,
That
right?
McKinnon goal last night kind of looked familiar. Oh no, he missed a wide open net in the gold medal game.
I do see that as a potential super positive for us. So we appreciate him doing that for us, obviously, for everything he's done in the United States of America. I was trying to get Sidney Crosby to be USA as well because he had been in Pittsburgh for 18 years. That's a full adult, right? That can register to vote in that particular city. So maybe he came over and played for Team USA. Seems like the Canadian guys have a lot of pride in playing for
Sid loves hockey. He's going to play in that IHL, whatever the championship.
With Kachuk right now?
Yeah.
Against. Actually,
it's like Sid, Jesus Christ, you're 40. You just played another 21st season, whatever. Just take a break, man.
They're addicted to hockey. These guys are addicted to hockey up there. I mean, they're actually addicted.
Yeah, but Pat, Sid also knows, and he'll be the first to tell you this. He's got to continue to play. Like, he's still playing at a level that's all these guys that we're talking about. Sid's right there, but he's got to take care of his body. And in order to do that, he's got to keep playing. Like, as you get older, the one thing that guys talk about consistently is you got to stay on the ice. You can't get away from the ice. And he's been consistent this way throughout his career of setting an example for the country and for players that everybody wants to play at the Olympics. Everybody wants to play at the major events, but the World Championships is still important. It's important for Team Canada, for guys to get together like it is for Team USA. So Sid doesn't want to bail out of those things just because, right? So for him, it's a double-edged sword. He's got to play, and he's our leader. So we got to see him all the time wearing that jersey.
Yeah, we get it. He's the greatest. We are saying super duper human. He's done a lot of great things. Yeah, he is. He threw a football 30 yards for $1 million, no questions asked, in the middle of the shot. And then Gino and Letang, I said, do you think he'll be able to throw this football through this hoop? They both immediately, yes, he'll be able to do whatever you need him to do. If you had him do something else, you give him a Rubik's Cube, he never did it before, he'll be able to figure it out. They're like, he's a superhuman. We've been very lucky in Pittsburgh to experience him as Penguins fans. Obviously, Canada, lucky to have him. I think you should try playing for USA at one of these, though.
Would be cool.
Just see if you can. As Matthew Tkachuk goes for the triple gold, Matthew Tkachuk's going to be the first American, if they win the gold in this, to win a Stanley Cup, an Olympic gold, and a World Championship gold medal. So there's only, I think, 6 guys that have done it, or 5 guys that have already done it. He would either be the 6th or the 7th, and the only American to ever do it. Sidney Crosby, obviously. How many? 30 guys?
30 have done it, but he would be the first American.
There it is. Okay.
Wow.
30 have done it in the history of the triple gold. He would be the first American. That's what's possible. And Sidney Crosby said, you think you're getting into our club, huh, bub? Let's see how that goes. Let's continue to talk about the playoffs, though, shall we? Let's stay in the West. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, PK, another great Canadian, Mark Stone. I know he's been out lately for the Golden Knights. I'm sure Ty has been pulling his hair out, wondering what the hell is going on with them. How important is it for Vegas, do you think, to close it out tonight, especially because, Colorado now, we're mentioning how great they are, but they might have a few extra days rest if the Golden Knights can't pull it out, which will make them even more dominant. Do you see this thing going 7? Do you think the Golden Knights can get it done? They had a great comeback the other night as well. What do you think about tonight?
Well, we have to give a lot of props and flowers to John Tortorella, because what he's done with Vegas since taking over is exactly why they're in the situation that they're in now to take over this series. Him getting more out of Thomas Hurdle, him getting Dorofeev to find ways to get on the score sheet, not allowing these guys with the excuse to get pushed out of games, pushed to the outside, or to have any other result than what's destined for him. So I think he's squeezing the life out of him. But the loss of Mark Stone, it's a huge loss, and it's a massive loss for them down the middle of the ice. It puts a lot of pressure on Eichel and Marner and Barbashev to have to deliver offensively. So when you can get Dorofeev now, who's not just a power play specialist, he's breaking down plays 5-on-5 and can put some pressure on Anaheim's defense and on some of their younger forwards to pay attention to the defensive side. Like, to me, that's the shift in the series. It's Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson, Troy Terry, these guys are tilting the ice, and they're doing it like as if this is their 5th and 6th year and running the playoffs. I think Coach Q and everybody in Anaheim knew something that we didn't when they built that defense, because they're built for this moment as well. So it's hard to say, because you can't count out those young players. Their size, skill, the plays that Gauthier and Carlson and these guys are making out there right now, it's ridiculous watching these guys out there playing. So Vegas is going to have to elevate, and then at the end of the day, it's the goaltending. It's Dostal and Carter Hart. Carter Hart has been up to the task, like Tortorella. He wanted to ride with them for a reason. This is why. So, we're seeing Vegas kind of come together. And if they can find a way to win this series without Mark Stone, I think that says a lot about them potentially being able to compete with the Colorado, because you're going to need everybody playing at that level. And Hurdle's turned it on. Dorofeev's finding that consistency. Their D's getting active now.
Mitch.
I like what's going. And they're blocking shots. Like, Torts has got those guys eating pucks, too.
Yeah, we like
crazy.
Eating a good D, eating pucks.
Pucks, baby.
Yeah, pounding D's,
yeah,
too.
Pounding D's, getting in on the D's, banging dudes. It's all happening, yeah.
Yeah,
you
big
got to get in and bang bodies. You got to bang bodies, Pat. It's a part of the game. No, and guys don't want to do it. They think they get on the score sheet and it's good enough. You got to wear guys down.
Yeah.
Cale Makar last night, he's holding his hip, he's wobbling up the ice. You got to get in and bang guys sometimes. It is what it is.
Yeah, you need jam and sandpaper. Clearly, a little bit of grit goes a long way, especially when you're just banging dudes.
Yeah, 7-game series, you don't pound the D, you're kind of screwed once you get to 7.
Well, kind of screwed. You're getting definitely screwed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm on the sidelines.
You're on the sidelines?
I'm on the sidelines.
You're watching. You're in the chair. Watching.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I was a pucks in deep guy.
Oh, dump it down in there. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Used to get pounded.
Yeah, on the defensive side. Getting pounded by dumping it down.
He was the D they were trying to pound.
Just kind of all right. Let's wrap this up, please. Okay, let's do the hockey. Let's go to massive one tonight. Obviously, the environments are a topic of the conversation, but much more. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, PK. Game 4 in Montreal was kind of weird. There was a long goal review, which was weird, and then obviously the puck off of the stanchion that goes in for a goal. It was just kind of like a weird game. Obviously, great environment, great game. That series is awesome. What do you feel like it's going to be like Buffalo and Montreal tonight?
Well, Montreal has to understand this. 1 for 7 on the power play is not going to cut it. Their power play has to put pressure on teams. Why? Because if you get through this series, you're looking at a Carolina. They're not going to let you waltz up the ice and set up on your power play. And if your power play isn't effective, if your special teams is out of the game, it's going to be very, very difficult for Montreal. Now, once again, they were able to win games with only 9 shots, and those things can happen. I'm just saying the numbers don't work in your favor that way. So for them, they have to get connected on their power play. Good things, Cole Caulfield's getting active. He's finding ways to get on the score sheet now. And I don't think he was playing bad before. So Slavkovsky, he's going to show up. I think if their power play gets going, he's got to be the guy in front of the net. They got to get more net front. They're playing too far on the outside, and they're not shooting enough pucks. They got to put that pressure on Buffalo because they're a team that can score on you shorthanded. So you got to keep them at bay. And for me, Montreal's got to play fast in this series. Buffalo was the faster team. You could see it early on in the game. And like Marty said, he didn't like their start. Well, I understand because you guys aren't skating. It's against Tampa. they lose that game in overtime where Moser comes around the top because they're standing around watching for 5 minutes. So for Montreal, if they're going to have success, they got to be the faster team, and they got to be connected on their special teams. They got to get going. So that's how I see it from Montreal's perspective. Buffalo's just got to continue to do what they did. Get physical. I like how Lindy set the tone with saying that Montreal's diving and flopping. Let's get some of that action going on in the game. I like it.
Yeah.
It's going to add to the environment, and we'll see what happens today. But, Buffalo's got to continue to be physical and frustrate Montreal. That'll work in their favor.
Who do you think would win in a scrap? The Montreal Blade Boys, the Buffalo Blade Gang, or the lads down there from Carolina?
Seth Jarvis boys.
Jarvis boys.
Yeah.
Jarvis boys. Which lad do you... Okay, 3 groups of lads walk into a bar. 3 groups of lads drink out the entire bar.
Mm-hmm.
1 group of lads ends up walking out with the most unscathed appearance out of bar.
Easy choice.
Although all the lads do high five on the way out and stick tap towards each other on the way out. How would you rank the 3?
I definitely have Buffalo being number 1 if that's the case. I think those guys, they know how to drink. Montrealers, they know how to party, but it's all around the celebration of the team. There's a lot of class and elegance in Montreal. So I would suggest that Montreal may even be 3rd on the list. I got the Buffalo Blade Boys first, 2nd, and then who would be 2nd after that?
Carolina.
Jarvis boys.
Jarvis boys. They're from Manitoba.
Yeah, and Jarvis boys have said they're on
Manitoba boys.
PEDs, FYI.
Yeah, because they said the reason why the one guy was getting to crank that thing is because he's clearly on PEDs.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him if that was true, and he said, absolutely.
And if they're Jarvis boys, they probably played puck.
Yeah,
So-
Manitoba. I think that's
job.
a tough part of town. I don't know. I've never been to Manitoba.
And the Montreal Blade boys are probably French, so they're definitely 3rd.
So they're playing with cork bats. They're corking the bat before they. Okay.
Which, why not?
All right,
It's legal.
Hey, to each his own, man. To each his own. I like it.
Okay, so you got Buffalo, Carolina, Canada. That's what we thought. Okay, we appreciate you, brother. Have a good one, PK.
Yeah, PK.
All right. But the Carolina boys are Canadians, which does happen seemingly a lot in hockey. Every time we brag about our teams, and they're like, hey, 7 Canadians on your team. Just so you know, you basically are.
That ain't the fight. That ain't the rules.
No,
Okay.
Sidney Crosby's been here for 19 years.
Exactly. He's the injured. He's said that before.
Okay, boom. You're welcome. Okay, he's basically American. Speaking of American, we got a major going on around here.
Yep.
PGA Championship over in Philadelphia. American dream stories coming true. Every once in a while, you'll hear a story about somebody that wasn't supposed to be in a place getting into a place and showcasing his talents to the world for maybe the first or 10th time ever.
Yeah.
Michael Block is hot.
Stop it.
At the PGA Championship.
Stop
His
it.
first hole, hole 10, from 200 yards out. 23 inches.
Stop it.
23 inches for Block.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't even take a block and put it between the hole and the ball because the block wouldn't fit with how close he is. From 200, right where Blocky likes it. Swagging yesterday with the crowd. He said, I'm aiming right at that tree right there. Wait till I hit it.
Wow.
Pushes it a little bit.
That's my block.
The Philadelphia guys boo him. Instead,
Holy
hole 1
shite,
of
man.
a major. Looking clean in the khaki, puts it to 23 inches to start a PGA Championship dream.
Block is hot, baby.
The block is real hot. Block hot right now. That boy Blocky, he
on,
shut
Blocky.
you up, Tone.
Yeah.
Me?
Shut
Suck
you
it, Tone.
up. And
Block is
Ty,
coming for
his
you.
baby shutting him up. We
I'm a blockhead.
We will continue to follow along with the PGA Championship. Let's go to another incredible story that is happening right in front of our face. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have in our current society an ace pitcher in MLB who is going to own the top maybe 100 fastest pitchers by a starting pitcher in the history of MLB.
Mm-hmm.
That guy happens to be a monster of a man who I think understands what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Chillest guy of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Got voted in the All-Star game early. Rookie year, only had 5 starts or whatever. Gets voted in. A lot of heat for him going into the All-Star game, maybe over somebody else. He gets asked about it. Hey, I'm just happy to be here. Lucky to be here, man. Just happy to be here. Lucky to be here. Let me go ahead and do it. And then he gets on the mound. Last night, 49 pitches, over 100 miles an hour.
Come on.
He's throwing 100 miles an hour in the 7th inning. These baseball batters are having a... And then their eyes get a little bit tired as the game goes... Boom! 103.6 is the max that he has hit.
Sheesh.
This guy's outrageous. His first 4 pitches last night, 102. As soon as you, welcome to the baseball game. Here's first hit. Boom. Okay. 102 miles an hour. I can't get much faster. Sorry. 102 again. 102 again. 102 again. Then 97. See ya.
Off speed.
This guy's must watch from the Brewers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Miz, Jacob Mizorowski.
Yeah, man.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good. I hope you enjoyed the description of you that you were forced to listen to right there. Didn't want to put you on the screen because of probably the discomfort, but just know that is how we feel about you after getting to meet you. This is absurd what you're doing right now. I remember opening day, there was a 104-mile-an-hour bet that you and I would have had. If you would have been able to lead the season with 104 miles an hour, that would have been absolutely absurd. But it seems like you're damn close, and you've been throwing it.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I am, yeah.
So tell me how you feel. Why do you think you've seen this extended amount of speed that you've been feeling, and do you think this is just going to become your new norm forever? Like, is this just what the pitcher you are and who you're going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I sure hope that's the norm. I mean, I think it's more just like adrenaline coming into effect and kind of going that way with it. But no, against the Yankees, like that was definitely straight adrenaline the whole game and was riding on that. So it felt good.
Okay, so tell me about how old are you again?
24.
Okay, so have you obviously been tracking your pitches for when did you hit 100 and how much incrementally do you go up each year? Have you been tracking that? And what is actually possible with you being at 24 right now, hitting the speeds that are happening? Are we going to continue to build speed, we think? Longevity with the speed that we have? Like, what do we think the forecast is for your arm?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to stay right around this for, as long as I can possibly do it. But, there's no way to tell exactly how long that's going to last. But no, I started tracking speed in junior college. That was when I hit 100 my sophomore year of junior college and in the World Series. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of cool seeing triple digits up there. I bet that would be sweet. I mean, what you're doing right now is just very abnormal. I think you have the 7 fastest pitchers in the history, fastest pitches in the history of MLB for a starting pitcher as well. So it's like, it's historic what you're doing right now because closers, obviously, Chapman, Aroldis Chapman, sorry, I read his name earlier. I got it completely wrong there. Aroldis Chapman, though, he had like 105.8 or something, closer. Right now, Mason Miller, Yinzer, he's out hitting 104, 105, I think. He's closer. So closers only have to come in and get 3 outs. So it's not an extended thing. What you're doing as a starting pitcher is just incredibly abnormal. Who do you talk to? Who do you call? Is it coaches? Is it other pitchers? Like, how do you kind of, I don't want to say like gather intel, but you're doing something that hasn't been seen before. Who do you kind of lean on? And what is kind of the daily conversation on how we keep your arm like this as you continue to grow into who you're going to be in the MLB?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk with our staff in the training room and stuff like that of arm care that we're doing in between starts, and so no, there's always good talks with Woo and Chad, CP, all those guys. They always have something they want to add, and we'll talk about anything and everything.
Last question here, Miz. You had cramps last night. Happens in sports. I wondered about the blood flow in your arm. Okay, throwing 100 mile an hour at least 49 times in a game. First time that's ever happened. Are you throwing 100 in any warm-up pitches?
I'm maybe.
Like,
I'm not aiming for it to be 100. I'm more just aiming to get my body moving again from the sitting and waiting in the dugout.
Because I'm wondering if you threw like over 60 100-mile-an-hour pitches last night, just in the warm-up pitches, because not just the starting ones, you're also re-warming up in there. But the blood flow, I would assume, the whip and everything, are you getting cramps in your arm? Are you getting cramps in your body? What happened last night? And is this just something you're going to have to change your intake whenever you're going to certain places?
Yeah, I memean, I had a cramp in Washington as well in the hamstring, and every cramp I've had this season has been lower body. So, I think it's just going to end up being like maybe a little bit more food in the middle of the game, like having like a PB&J or something like that. Banana. To get some more carbs in. Yeah. Okay. So we're still figuring out how to be a pro right now.
Yeah.
We're still figuring out our damn routine in this. I know the sky is the limit. That's how everybody who knows you around baseball talks about you. You're so fun to watch, man. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you think you're cheating, though, with how close you are to home plate whenever you release the ball? Do you think that is a little bit – how tall are you again?
I'm 6'7".
Yeah, and they're saying you're a strider, too. Like, you're like –
lanky 6'7".
You're like, elbows way over table, beer palm.
The Wemby of
So the release point is 7 feet 6 inches. So, yeah, I'm getting out there.
Is that the most in baseball, or is there others?
I would have to look it up. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I like that you don't even know. I like that. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, pitcher for the Brewers, ace for the Brewers, maybe the fastest arm in the history of baseball, Jacob Mizrahi.
Yeah, Miz.
Spin away from baseball.
The real Miz.
Hey, so you're 7 feet 6 inches release spot. What is normal?
No idea.
It's a great question.
Let me look at it. Somebody will have that answer.
Like, what's Randy Johnson's?
Exactly.
He was 6'11".
Yeah. So what is it? Because they talk about him I guess a big part of his pitching is he gets very close to home plate. I mean, it is like on purpose, I think. 7 feet 6 inches, him knowing his stat. Anyways, he's the man. Skeensall is on tomorrow. Baseball obviously has some magical stories developing through their season, which only has 400 games left, which we'll certainly try to pay attention. Basketball, not a lot of games left. Not a lot of games left. We got to enjoy them all, especially when there's a massive comeback in front of Marshall. In 50?
Come on.
Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, NBA legend and champion, 15-year vet, Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, Big Perk.
Perk, how you doing?
My guys.
Perk, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. You look spectacular. I just want to let you know that. I want to let you know you look amazing. Obviously, the blue hue around the blue suit, it appears, is, fantastic. I'll have you know.
I try to do what I can when I'm in my home studio, Pat. I don't have the makeup artists and stuff like that. So I try to, color coordinate and do what I can, especially when I'm coming on here with, my guys.
Oh, you're at home. You're at home, right? You're in shorts right now. This is COVID Zoom.
You're exactly right. Shorts, no socks, top only.
Yeah.
Respect.
Hey, business on top, party on the bottom. We get it. You're a mullet of outfits right now. Okay, let's talk about last night. You want to talk about business and then party. 9-0 run to end this thing for the Cavs to send us to overtime. They steal a win in Detroit. Cade Cunningham obviously goes bananas, but they can't finish it down the stretch. Evan Fox, diehard Pistons fan, says this is your fault because whenever you did the whole James Harden Kool-Aid or blood thing in his heart, maybe you woke up the monster. Now, James Harden, in his post-game interview after he went crazy, had this to say about the outside chatter.
You've been in the league for a long time. How did you silence the chatter tonight and have this sort of response in Game 3?
What chatter? What chatter?
That's exactly the answer to the question. What chatter?
I play basketball, and whatever this team needs me to do, I'm gonna go out there and do it. So, letting the game play out. Fourth quarter, my number was called, and I go to work. But they made a run, up 17. We've seen it before. Stay composed and win the game, man. And that's what we did.
What chatter? Obviously got really loud. You were a part of that. Your thoughts on what you've seen from James and what you see from this Cavs team finishing this last night?
Well, first of all, he was listening. I was a teammate of James, so he heard the chatter, and the chatter at the time was warranted. But the thing that I've witnessed with James is that he's been more of a prolific scorer, looking to get buckets more so than trying to be a facilitator. So when you think about James being a scorer, and when he focuses on doing that, he's one of the greatest scorers that we've ever seen in the game of basketball. One could argue he was Luka before Luka when he had on the Houston Rockets jersey. And no one ever doubted that James Harden couldn't win you a few playoff games. It's all about James Harden completing the mission and closing out the series. We know games 1, 2, 3, and 4, he's going to do his thing. And even in Game 5, Game 6 and Game 7, that's when we want to see him stand on business. That's when I want to see him get his feet hot. But all in all, he did what they brought him here to do. Go on the road in a crucial Game 5 and get a win for his organization, for his team, their first road win. But I thought collectively, this was a character win for the Cleveland Cavaliers because Donovan Mitchell, double figures, Max Strus, double figures, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen both had a great night on both ends of the floor, completely took Jalen Duren out of the game. So I thought, being down on the road and the way that they came together and got stops and timely buckets was a huge character win and arguably the most important win of their postseason.
Yeah, stealing one on the road, obviously great. Stealing one that you're supposed to lose, obviously spectacular in a vibes-riddled kind of sport, which the NBA is. What does this tell you about the Pistons? Are you worried about this? Because, hey, you got 50 and Eminem there, courtside.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what that turns into? I was at a 50 concert a couple weeks ago, Fountain Blue.
We know.
He still got it. Hey, he still got it. Still got it. We're talking Jacob Mizorowski. We're talking 103 on the paint if he wants to. So if he was to get a mic, Eminem gets a mic, huge playoff win. You're already in an arena. It's going to be one of the greatest nights in the history of Detroit. We could be having the greatest night in the history of Detroit, one of them. Now, granted, got to win a title, but I'm just saying this could have become something epic. And instead, just shit the bed down the stretch. That's kind of what we see. Happens in sports. Obviously, you get unlucky and everything like that. What did you learn about the Stones, and what are your thoughts about Cade Cunningham being a guy? I mean, he is a guy, it feels like.
Oh, Cade Cunningham is a bona fide superstar. Absolutely. He just doesn't have a bona fide Robin. Tobias Harris has been good for them, but he's not a guy that's going to be a second option that's going to take you to where they're trying to go and ultimately get to the promised land and try to win a championship. And I know a lot of people have been giving a lot of damn heat to Jalen Duren, and rightfully so. But the big fella is 22 years old. This is his first real playoff experience, him walking into the postseason and being relied on as a second option offensive guy. This is one of those moments that's going to make him stronger and better in the near future. The Cavs on paper, offensively, they're better than the Pistons. So when we look at this series, I picked the Pistons to win in 7, but usually when you pick a team to win in 7, that means you really don't it could go either way. I'm not making excuses, but again, all the Cavs had to do, and they're doing it, is match their physicality. And we're seeing that from the bigs because, let's be real, before the playoffs started, the Cavs had a nickname of Hostess, Cupcakes, because they was creamy in the middle. But now they're changing the narrative. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are actually playing like some grown-ass men now.
They're calling them the cream filled in the paint Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Twinkies?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
No.
I always hated the cream on the inside. I'm going to say it.
What?
If I bit into that thing and there was cream inside, hated it.
Are you?
Give me the ho-ho that has like the solid shit. I can't do the soft, creamy when I get in
like
there.
a Boston cream donut. I agree with you. I'm with you there.
I bite in there, that thing oozes out.
So not a Twinkie guy?
No, not at all. Get it out of my face.
I mean, the ho-ho's got the cream inside too, though.
Yeah,
no, but it's a little harder, crisper because it does the.
It's more like the Oreo cream.
Yeah, I'm talking about the texture of just like you bite into that thing and then, you don't want that. That's what he's saying. He's saying that's what they were saying.
Not on the basketball court, you don't.
Not in my mouth either. Your mouth, it sounds like you want that.
Hey, whatever.
Perk. Tony's what is going on here?
I'll try anything twice.
Yeah. This is your fault, Perk. This is your fault. We did not know they were calling them cream filled down there. I'm happy they're changing that entire narrative. Okay, let's talk about what's going on in the West. Obviously, it's some pretty special stuff. I had somebody call me that said they're picking San Antonio strictly because they have an alien on their team. They have an actual alien on their team. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Perk, and he's not the only one. It feels like Castle and Harper and even Devin Vassell are kind of stepping up as they've gotten older throughout these entire playoffs. You mentioned Duren being a young guy. This team is full of young guys, but they seem to be kind of meeting the moment, especially after Popovich told Wemby and gave him a little pee-pee whack for getting kicked out the other night coming off the plane. But this is kind of the last series that we're looking at here in the West until the OKC one. We don't have a game tonight, unfortunately, but this would be the next one. What do you think for Game 6? Is this a Minnesota, Ant-Man force Game 7, we're going back to San Antonio? Or do you think Wemby had that night off of reflection, hey, I can't be elbowing guys in the larynx just because they deserve it. I just need to go out there and get 40 and 15 every night and we'll win a title. What do you see from Game 6 here tomorrow night?
I believe this series is going 7. Now, we know that Wemby has a hatred for losing, and so do Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is going to protect this house. It's going to be hard, but he's going to protect his house. By the way, can anybody tell Julius Randle that the playoffs has officially started? Because they need him. They need him to be a Robin. They need him to fix his damn body language. They need him to be engaged and on both ends of the floor, because right now he's getting punked. Jay McDaniels, yes, one of my favorite players, he's getting punked. And when we talk about Wemby, let me tell y'all this, real talk, and I really feel this deep in my soul. 30 years from now, in no particular order, the GOAT conversation is going to go Jordan, Braun, and Wemby. This man is about to, this man has officially taken over the NBA. The NBA belongs to Wemby for the next 10 years. This is Wemby's world, and everyone is trying to get an apartment in it. I have never seen a guy that is so dominant on both ends of the floor. I'm already watching the greatest defender I've ever seen with my own two eyes. We know that he's going to block shots. We know his capability of being able to switch out and guard on the perimeter. But the thing that stands out to me the most is that when he's able to go and contest the shot with one hand, and the other hand, while he's in the air, take away drop-off passes to the bigs. I've never seen nothing like that in my damn life.
Yeah, he's special.
Special is an understatement.
Okay.
I don't even know a word to describe him. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about him no more. He and this youth, this whole narrative of this youth thing, before I switched over and went to picked Minnesota for this series, I did come out and say that the San Antonio Spurs could win the NBA championship, right? And Wemby kept saying, we don't care about people saying we don't have experience. You know why? Because they young, but like my grandma used to say, they got old souls, baby.
Yes, they
do. They got old souls.
Traveled souls. I mean, when we heard Wemby fresh out of the draft, this guy from France is number one. He might be the greatest of all time. He was talking about how the universe and he kind of understand each other. Then he went and trained with monks for his mind. And then he went with Kevin Garnett. Then he's playing chess. Then he's elbowing people in the face. He's pump faking into paint and passing it off. He's swatting. He's dunking. This guy seems to be everything. I'm excited to see what they say.
And Pat, I'm glad you brought that up because, see, going train with KG, Akeem Olajuwon, and even our guy Jamal Crawford, see, the training part is one thing, but what people is missing is the knowledge that he's getting after the training. Those two, that extra hour when he takes off his shoes and all of a sudden they're sitting down and all of a sudden he's getting that conversation. That's what people are missing.
Yeah, the game that is being shared. We're out with Kendrick Perkins. We're back on the other side. Thank you, Perk.
It's electrifying here in Happy Valley. We're lucky to be here. And, the way you win this is you have be the first 300 people here and you get a ticket. And then we randomly select a ticket, and that person gets an opportunity to kick a 33-yard field goal for an undetermined amount of money. This week, we had our man, William, right? What's your name?
William, yes, sir.
You won the raffle, and you said, I don't want to kick because I suck at kicking. Is that accurate?
More or less.
What is your major here?
I'm a finance major.
Okay, so money decision was, I suck at this. Let me try to find somebody who's good at this. How did you land on my man here, and what are your hopes in him?
Well, I was looking around. I saw my man. He said he plays soccer, and I was like, this is my guy right here. My guy Carson. I have faith in him, so I know he's going to get it done.
All right, you're Carson, right? You played high school soccer. Is that accurate?
I did play high school soccer.
Where are you from?
I'm from Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Okay, you're a Pennsylvania guy. Have you ever kicked a ball before?
Other than not football, soccer.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're terrible at this. It's $100,000. Are you guys splitting that 50-50?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll make it $300,000. $150,000 for both of you. Okay. You only get one kick, though. You've gamed the ticket game, which I appreciate and respect. It's up to $300,000. $150,000 for both of you. Only one kick, though, Herbie. We're not doing anything. I don't care how many Staters chant for another kick. Only one, Herbie. Played high school soccer. He's a good player.
We got a problem here.
That's right. It's a whiteout. It could be a special day. You could help out your guy, William, in winning $150,000. One kick. 300,000. Two. This minute, Carson, congratulations! You crushed that. William, way to go! It has been an expensive year out here at the field goal kick. Carson, I'm proud of you, buddy. 300,000, 150 to you, 150 to you. Good finance decisions were made. And the first top 6 whiteout has a magical vibe and an expensive one. We are. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think that might, maybe they should have turned that around.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this magical, spectacular, huge Thursday, May 14, 2026. Sport! The name of the show is NFL Schedule Release, PGA Championship, Big Sports Comeback, Thursday, May 14th, 2026. This is the second hour. We can't thank you enough for joining us and allowing us to do this for a living. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor. And one half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys AP Tone. Ty, we love you. Joining us live from Manatee, Ohio, is a man who's a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk.
How you doing, Hawker?
I'm doing great. How about them Cavs last night? I know Foxy's a bit upset, but yeah, great win for
Ohio showed up in Michigan. And Michigan quit in the end, and Ohio remained kings in front of Eminem and 50, in front of a raucous Detroit sports town crowd.
Yeah. Go Stones, go.
I mean, the whole game, 15
go,
at
Stones,
one point.
Go.
They were down 15 at one point, 9 at the end.
Yeah.
And they go in a 9-0 run to 4. That's Ohio grit, AJ. Is that why you're shouting this out right now?
I mean, maybe they should split. Maybe 50 and Eminem should come on over and come to the Cavs.
Okay. Whoa. Yeah, they're going to do that, Hawk.
Yeah, right.
You know who you have as a celebrity fan? You have Mike the Miz, so congrats to you. That's really cool, Hawko.
Thank you. He's a huge superstar. He has been for 20 years.
When's the last time he's won a match, Hawko?
It doesn't matter.
Don't forget about the Gun Kelly, bruh.
Machine Gun
I
Kelly
do love
as well.
MGK. He's awesome, but he doesn't go to the games. He doesn't care about
That's
the
because he's
Cavs.
working. Him and Wiz right now, obviously, about to go on tour, releasing songs right now. They're both back seemingly in their absolute apex. Cannot wait to hear that entire album. On that note, let's go back to this, though. The Miz, maybe it has been since when did you say Miz last won a match?
I said 2003, but I believe I'm out of line. I think he's won, at some point.
No, I don't think so.
What would you say would be some point, though? Because that's like
give me 2009, maybe.
No, it was like 2,000 days ago.
He's a tag team champion.
Oh.
Yeah, with R-Truth.
Yeah. I guess I'm thinking maybe Mania matches. He hasn't won a Mania match yet.
Mania. Okay, WrestleMania is obviously whenever The Rock is involved, okay, because we're Terramaniing all the oos around here, pal. But, yeah, the Cavs, big-time comeback shot to them. How about hockey? Did you see Minnesota? They had Colorado just donning out 3-0, and then the Colorado Avalanche wake up. Did you see the point differential per period for these lads? Obviously, Makar and McKinnon are outrageous, and the goalie could stand on his head, and the team is spectacular, and they're in flippy-floppies in pools so they can work out the lactic acid at a deeper level at Mile High. Seems like they're in better shape there, everybody. Just absolutely stomping folks as the game continues to grow on. This is the classic take them out into the deep end, it feels like, with this Avalanche team, AJ.
Yeah, it is. I guess I would assume if you're the coaching staff, you're thinking like, hey, what do we need to do to get out to a hotter start? That's what every football coach talks about. Oh, we need a fast start, control the game, whatever. And Colorado's good enough to where they get out to these super slow starts and they still just find a way to pour it on them late.
Yeah, and I think there is a chance that they just want to kind of see how the game's going to go. Let's get a feel for this thing. All right, and then they figure it out. I think Aaron could potentially be this way. I think Aaron Rodgers, first couple quarters, he's trying to figure out what the defense is doing. And then he come out, and then in the end, he has it figured out. And that's why Mike McCarthy's been on the record, everybody else been on the record. It's like, 2-minute drill, we want Aaron's hands. We want ball in Aaron's hands. He has figured out the defense and what they're trying to do. Maybe they're a team that just is trying to figure out what the game's going to be. We know they're physical, though.
Oh, yeah.
They'll hit you late. They'll beat you down. They know that in the third period, you're probably going to be feeling a lot worse than you felt in the first period. And a massive comeback like that, great for hockey that has already been up and to the right, Con Man.
Yeah, and it feels like they're just smarter. Like even this last play, he's throwing it off the side of the board so his guy can go get it, who isn't even supposed to be on the ice, by the way, and then for him to hold it. Nikas wasn't supposed to be the guy who was coming on, but he knew exactly what to do. And then even when you watch the Tendy's kind of waiting for him to shoot, comes all the way at the top of the crease, and then pass, nope, we're going to the other side. Like their IQ is even higher, which makes it feel unfair. Feels as though they shouldn't be able to do this. So kind of Colorado being this good versus the Vegas Golden Knights who use that IR cap space thing. Kind of two titans of, hey, that's not allowed, coming together in the Western Conference Finals would be cool. And then maybe Carolina to bring it home on the East.
I don't like the way you're saying ethical roster building conversations have happened in hockey.
They still doing it?
Hey, Nick, that's a good question because I remember the Tampa Bay Lightning did this. I believe the Florida Panthers did this.
With Marshy.
It seems as if the Vegas Golden Knights were doing it
every
single
year. Times, yep.
But what is the thing? You basically put somebody on IR, then their contract doesn't count, then you can sign other people. Then when the playoffs start, you can bring back the contract because the salary cap can be adjusted a little bit whenever it's postseason, especially with an injured player retiring. So you're able to kind of fill up your roster with more money than everybody else because you're designating somebody to injury because their contracts won't affect what the salary cap is. Is that accurate, Nick?
More or less, yeah, but they closed that loophole, so you can no longer do that.
That's why Stoner right now, it's genuine T's and P's. Before it was always like, okay, Mark Stone, yeah, you're hurt for sure. You
for
got
the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, you guys are just bringing people in. But now, for real, it's like, hey, they need Stoner back big time.
Yes, they certainly do. Good luck to all the NHL teams that are up and to the right. Hockey has been spectacular. AJ, do you know what this is?
Skull and crossbones.
What type of skull, though, dude? You probably would know, actually.
Is that something to do with an author that we know?
Oh, well,
maybe.
That'd be sick.
At some point, and we do love Jack Carr, and that is certainly. I believe his most recent book, Fourth Option, is coming out, or is out. Should be read by you soon.
Out now, go get it.
Now, Fourth Option. This. From Jack Carr. We love Jack Carr.
Hell yeah.
We love Jack Carr's brain. We love Jack Carr's commitment to our country. We love the way Jack Carr operates. And he's also saved the world like 3 to 4 different times for us. So if you can go buy Jack Carr book, not only are you going to be incredibly entertained, not only going to take a ride, this one is, I believe, about a retired SEAL or CIA operative and kind of getting back into it. So this is going to be a great trip with Jack Carr, like every single story. Fourth Option available now.
Bill sat down last night, said he was just going to read a chapter to find out what it was about. Said he read 15 chapters. just immediately could not put it down.
And we will say Bill is one of the leaders of the Jack Carr fan club.
Oh, yeah. Loves it.
But how could you not be, to be honest with the way he talks? Shout out to Jack Carr. But no, this is not from Jack Carr. Good guess, though, because the skull and crossbone looks cool. And Jack Carr is certainly that. No, this would be a jungle cat, actually, skull.
Yeah.
That's a jungle cat. See that?
Okay.
Looks like a dinosaur, maybe? No, that's a
Yeah.
Okay, so who was that affiliated with? Or what is that?
The Carolina Panthers. And watch that one right there, pal.
Ooh.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, watch your tail. Get it? Get it?
Watch your tail. Yeah, that has many different meanings, I guess.
Does it?
They're great at the releases.
Carolina has been OG of schedule release. Remember, they had the throwback back to whenever we were kids, bicycle into the house with the Nintendo 64, I believe, in the entire thing. This one, they said is going to be explosive. This one, they gave a little teaser. I believe there are bombs involved in this thing.
What?
So, yeah, that's what we need to celebrate. Remember.
Tannerite or bombs?
Well, I think Tannerite was being used, but I do believe they did have quite a bomb effect.
Okay.
There was a lot of this going on when I was watching.
Are all the videos coming out at 8, or are the videos going to come out before the show?
8 p.m. launch on social media for the social media and creative teams to be on display. Some of your teams and our teams are going to potentially have the greatest products of all time.
Maybe.
And then some social media creative teams, digital teams, are going to be on display for being asked tonight. Okay, we need to remember that. And we should judge them. They're getting paid a lot of money. They have a lot of power.
What if some teams don't want to jump into the game and say, hey, like, we're about ball. We don't need to make these hype videos.
I think then you just probably need to get out of the NFL and go to like the UFL maybe or something like that.
Probably get out of the marketing department if that is.
Yeah, this is the NFL, okay? So you're going to have a social media digital team that creates things, content for your fans because everybody else does it. But I will say, if you want to be just like an Amish football team and do all that, I would respect it as well. I would say good on you for running your business that way, but that's not the case. They employ and pay millions of dollars in salaries into creative departments, digital departments, social media teams. You're talking about these jobs literally being a massive piece of what these franchises are to a lot of people. I tried to explain way at the early days of Twitter. I was lucky to get on Twitter very early in my life. I'm not saying I was early in the Twitter world, but it was like talking to the Colts at the time about how important their Twitter account was, because there's a lot of people who don't live in Indianapolis that their only interaction with the Colts is through that social media account. That's it. Only see what that social media account puts out, only know really what's going through there. That was back in the day. Now, obviously, everything's so widespread and we got a lot more content of everything. But I think like the Colts have had like a social media department for a long time. Now they're like fully invested in this type of thing. And they're not the only ones. I think it's like a majority of teams now understand that the hand is where these people are going to fall in love with our brand now, as opposed to just, out and about at the stadium. So tonight's a big showcase of the digital teams and the creative teams. And I think that's our big takeaway always is like, this video is awesome. These fuckers don't know ball. Okay, it's clear they don't know ball. This one's awesome. That's what tonight becomes. And also, who's getting all the primetime games, who's playing where. We already know the international games. Now we just need to know who's going to be broadcasted to the world, AJ. Anything you're looking forward to?
I'm definitely looking forward to, I want to go to specific teams. First off, hey, it's going to be fun to look at the list of how many primetime games certain teams have, and then the teams that don't get any primetime and may get upset. I think the Colts was that last year. You were pretty upset.
Last couple years. Thanks. Please, just move on.
So, I mean, maybe this is the year. They're due, right? With Danny Dimes there, I think they're going to have a couple primetimes, correct?
I would hope so. Listen.
Well, you never know.
There's so many primetime games now, though, with all the different.
There is. So
every
many
days they're playing.
primetime
There's a lot more, I guess, that you could consider primetime.
Yeah, so if you don't get a primetime game with how many primetime games there are now, I mean, that's a real problem. Now, we have an international game, so we do know we'll be the only game on in the morning. Yeah. Indiana mornings on it, Indiana time.
Yep.
But it would be nice to get a couple more primetime games because it's good for your team, unless you're ass. Giants, weeks 1 and 2, primetime games. If that's a slow start for Harbaugh and Jackson Dart, that's going to get real loud, real early by a lot of people. But that comes with being a Giant. Ain't that right, Bruce?
Yeah, the second we are we maybe going to be decent, we're going to have a ton of primetime games. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. I don't love it, but like our Cowboys games, like we lost a ton of close games last year, and our Cowboys games were both bangers. So hopefully they will be at least fun to watch, even if we do get off to that slow start.
Also, I do believe, and definitely check this, but I think New England and Seattle both started either 2-2 or 1-2 out the gate last year. And then you saw, I know they both definitely lost week 1 because it was the first time ever the two teams in the Super Bowl were 0-1 after week 1. But that is one of those things where, like, new culture might be a slow start, and then in prime time, so loud.
Are you a little bit worried about the Houston Texans? We got this in the mail earlier today, AJ Hawk.
And the PMS game. Spell it right. That never happens.
True.
It'll all make sense on Thursday, huh?
That handwriting. Seriously.
Some pads.
With blood on them. Uh-oh.
Go got blood on the shoulder pads. What's coming tonight for you from the Houston Texans schedule release?
I don't know something. I know that son of a bitch Toro is probably up to no good. I know that there's some jokes that some people are probably going to be making due to low-hanging fruit. And then there are some things also that, maybe we'll see come in some sort of video. I typically am a pessimist when it comes to this stuff. Oh, great. They're going to make us show these bloody shoulder pads, and there's going to be some stupid Mickey Mouse thing that we're going to have to watch tonight and be like, oh, this was good, when it isn't. However, the Texans are one of those teams, like the Chargers, like some of these social media teams that you can kind of hang your hat on them being great. Bloody shoulder pads, first thing I think of is Brian Cushing when it comes to Houston Texans. I don't know if there's some...
Or JJ.
JJ Watt. I don't know if they're... Not JJ Watt. I don't know if there's some sort of Vrabel connection as well since he coached there in Houston, but I do think that it will probably...
I don't think they'll be taking... I think we could probably assume that one's not going to be...
I'm going to guess that a lot of these social teams that saw New England on their schedule and like, oh, I got a great idea for our schedule reveal when it comes to New England.
This is why you've been kind of against it. So Connor's been kind of against these social media teams getting a chance to be on display.
No, I just don't want to be let down. I think what they have done the past few years is great. Videos, like we all look forward to them. Now that they're adding gimmicks, now they're adding shirts, now they're adding bloody shoulder pads. Okay, the only once you get to the top with these social teams, typically the only way they go is down. Okay. And I'm not saying, and I think the AI thing has gotten so out of hand that teams will now take pride in not using AI, which I think is great, actually. So I think that will kind of go away a little bit. But I do worry that some of these teams are just going to try and out-creative themselves when they already have a great idea.
That's why it's on display on who's ass and who's not.
Bingo.
That is a big one. I think the Colts are going to come back in a strong way after what happened last year.
They need it.
What did they do last year?
Last year was bad. They didn't get the rights, remember? It was like Minecraft or something.
And like multiple teams did it.
Another team had the rights already.
I do remember.
And then I think it was Chargers did it.
I think it
was Chargers did it. And then Colts did it. Chargers got like the rights to it actually. And then there was like a whole thing. And the Chargers obviously was much better. But I think there's been a lot of changes made. And I think
good. Brad Michaels for the
Ladies and gentlemen, we have received an exclusive from the Panthers.
They're rich.
Yeah, we need a sound. Can we go back to the beginning? I mean, geez Louise, we got an exclusive here. Can we go back to the
next level?
Where are we at?
I got a bunch of the golf stuff up, so I gotta close those out, and we'll go back to it.
Wait, we're walking.
I got a few of the golf broadcasts up as well.
These guys are watching the background.
They are.
We're trying to do a show.
Come on. We were gonna do the golf watch along.
Tell you what, from what I saw, that looks like ass.
What? They just gave us an exclusive.
When I first saw it, I almost said a worse word, but that looks like ass.
Okay, well, I appreciate you not using the worst word. We don't even know what it is. We haven't even heard it. We have no.
Why can't we just put up a schedule with words and where we're at and who we're playing?
You're big shrink the game guy.
Shrink the game, man. That did look like AI.
Send me a magnet I can put on my fridge, okay?
Please.
Send me something I could touch.
This is your 2026 magnet right here. No sound. I mean, are you kidding me?
They're just too.
They're going to come after us.
They're messing. No, they're messing.
Maybe there's no sound.
Oh,
there's no sound? Okay.
Then
we hear sound.
Then what was that?
We hear sound.
This is just a...
is that their new logo?
Okay.
What kind of information did we gain from this?
That they're using AI?
They're melting steel.
AI is good. There's some good AI videos out there.
Okay, so there's no sound?
There's no sound.
All right, I will say that was kind of ass.
See?
That was stupid to give us.
See what I mean?
That was a bad idea to give us that. But it'll be a part of a much bigger. That was out of context, no sound. Yeah, right. Like, that should not be given to us. Like, give us a little bit more. That's a terrible towel there, though, obviously getting shredded right there.
That never worked out.
Oh, the Florida Panthers speed of light. You think that's what's happening?
Tell you what.
I like what they're doing, maybe.
It's never, ever, ever been a good idea to do that to the terrible towel. A lot of teams have been cursed by what that just happened.
Oh, with the explosive. Okay, okay. So now I'm starting to piece it together. Right? To a bomb.
Ends up in someone's butt because watch your tail.
All right, let's move along. Let's get away from this. Let's go to a major, please.
That's their tagline.
You'll never know.
I'm just trying to connect the dots. Watch your tail. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Probably is the bottom of the butt.
Maybe that's what it is, actually. Maybe that's the sound.
Oh.
And it just saws through. You never know. Cats.
That's the sound of the. Where's the cat going? Or
No,
where's
it's
the
just
bomb
the
going?
sound that goes right through the terrible tells.
Yeah.
October 17th. The other one. There's a chance.
I just found out we play the Panthers. That's awesome. That's a W.
I don't know if that's true.
That's a good football team.
Good football team.
Schedule. That is a good football team.
Possibly a great one after that draft.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, with this schedule release, let's give a little grace here to the Carolina Panthers social team. I don't think we should have been the ones to necessarily do what we just did right there. But
Dan Morgan is just tearing apart his office right now since that game.
joining us now is a guy who's wasting his life in a tiny little cube over there, Romanik. Ladies and gentlemen, our golf expert, Mark Schlabach.
Yeah, Schlabach.
Schlabach, how you doing? I saw Blocky go from 203 yards out to 23 inches on hole 1. How you doing? Keep it moving. I'm a majors champ. What other storylines do we need to know from the early starts here as another major kicks off?
Well, I mean, Pat, that's the biggest one. I mean, it was an absolute dart from 202 yards.
Oh, no. Can't even compliment Blocky.
You know, for a second there, I thought if you don't, he doubled the third hole.
Yeah, he did.
All right, let's reconnect.
What?
Okay.
No,
the only thing we hear from him is that Blocky doubled the third hole. That's not fair.
No, I thought true.
Can we reconnect with him, please?
Blocky is one over, yeah.
So, but why do you think the universe? Oh, and he's back. Okay. So we couldn't hear anything that you said other than, and he doubled the third hole. Just want to let you know that that's all we heard, and we learned that in real time. I appreciate you bringing the actual facts and stats to us so we know who we can potentially get behind. Who should do well here today, you think?
I tell you, I told you earlier in the week that DeChambeau or Rahm winning this thing would be the big storyline. But if Jordan Spieth wins, he'll complete the career Grand Slam, and he's in a 5-way tie for first right now at 3 under. Just had it back-to-back birdies. I mean, it would be the biggest story in golf, Pat, since Tiger Woods won the 2019 Masters. I mean, he's still a guy that moves the needle, a fan favorite. He's a roller coaster. I love him because he plays golf like me. After he hits a bad shot, he's like, God, you suck. You're terrible. And, you know, got a 5-way tie up there. Pot Geeter from South Africa. Came into the week ranked 127th in putting. He's gaining 5 strokes on the greens right now. Probably not going to sustain that. Stefan Jaeger from Germany. He was number 3 in Data Golf's course fits this week. I didn't take him. And then Minwoo Lee, the chef, who's cooking this week and cooked like hell when I took him in the Masters in my pool.
Yeah, Chef could potentially go crazy. Did you see a guy was late to tee box for hole 1? Garrick Higo shows up a minute late. They give him a 2-stroke penalty before he even tees off. He would go on to double bogey 1 here. How often does this happen in a major? Don't you kind of know where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there? This feels like a very amateur mistake. Was he potentially just maybe dumping his pants? Like what? Maybe he didn't make a putt on the putting green before going over there. It's like, I got to make one before I get, like, how do we get to this and how normal is this?
It happened back in 2019 at the PGA Championship at Bethpage Black. It's rare. It's inexcusable. It's probably, not to blame the caddy, but that's kind of the caddy's job to make sure he gets there on time. I can't figure out if he knew before the end of the round or if they told him in scoring, because he seemed quite surprised and had a long conversation with PGA of America officials in the scoring tent. Give the kid credit, though. I mean, he shot 3 under 69, 367 the rest of the way. And if it wasn't for that 2-stroke penalty, he'd only be 1 shot off the lead.
Had to be so uncomfortable. I assume it had to be maybe had one of them Philly cheesesteaks over there with some extra green pepper,
Oh,
a
jeez.
little bit of cooking in there, and just had to get it out. Is the putting green right next to first? Like how?
Yeah. They're right there. I mean, he was only 1 minute late. They're stickler for rules. But, if what you're saying is true, I guess it would be the true definition of body time.
Yes, it would.
It would be. AJ has a question for you, Mark.
Yeah, I know they got a lot of rain, I believe, yesterday. I guess we've watched some different clips of guys putting the ball off the green and stuff. Are we expecting these greens to possibly dry out and get super fast as the weekend comes?
Yeah, AJ, I mean, it's a Donald Ross course, so the greens of the defense. Guys have talked all week about there not being much strategy off the tee. As I said earlier in the week, it's kind of a grip it and rip it course off the tee at least. But you saw Bryson struggles. He chipped off, or putted off the back of the green to about 57 feet away past the hole. A lot of spines, a lot of slope. They got about a quarter inch of rain last night. It's not supposed to rain for the rest of the week. I get up to about 89 degrees on Sunday, so they can make these things as diabolical as they want. The pin placement on number 4 today is absolutely lethal, and there's still some room back there for a Sunday pin.
Okay, we can't wait to see where they decide to torture these guys throughout the weekend as another major's at hand. It's not just, obviously, the course conditions on the ground. How about in the sky? Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Marky Mark, it looked windy as shit when we were watching the earlier rounds there. Is that supposed to be something that's constant this week? I mean, even on, Rombo's hole out, it looked like the flag was going fast. Are we expecting a very windy round, and how much do you think that's going to affect these guys as they try and figure out these greens?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's about controlling the spin. Most of these guys are bombing it. If you get a wedge in your hand, you got to control the spin, the false fronts, 15, 16 miles an hour. I think that's absolutely why Michael Block yanked his tee shot down the left side on number 3. And then
Jeez, come on.
Into a bunker. Look, guys, we watched him putt the other day on the putting green. Inside 20 feet, never missed.
Yeah.
Absolute machine.
That's what he's saying.
If he hit it 20 yards longer, hit it as far as Rory, there's no telling.
All right.
I mean, that's true.
Right. Okay.
You mentioned the ball
He
there.
said it himself.
You mentioned the ball, Mark. What's the deal with Cam Young's ball? Why am I seeing people calling him a cheater for using some golf ball that everybody basically uses? What's that situation there?
I'd say he's more of a visionary ahead of his time. The USGA and the RNA, which two of the governing bodies,
RNA?
we're talking about changing the testing standards going forward, starting in 2030, to get 15, 20 yards off the drives, shorter, make them shorter so the courses don't become too obsolete. Cam Young unknowingly had been using a ball that is going to be approved in the future under those new conditions. And, he started using it at the Wyndham Championship last year. And that was the first time he'd won on tour after 7 runner-up finishes, I think. Used it again at the Players this year and down at Doral a couple weeks ago when he went wire to wire. So, golf geeks love it. I can't stand it writing about anything more than rollback.
You're the best because you are a golf geek, but you certainly don't ever portray it. You certainly sound like an optimist about everything that we ask about over there in the golf world, and that's why we love you, Schlaubbach. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy the time over there.
I was a happy guy today, Pat.
Well, the first thing we heard you say was he had a double on 3.
Blockade just doubled.
That was the only thing we heard from you. Everything else froze up. So literally your first words were, yeah, but let's, it was good. I liked it.
Well, for a second there, I thought, look, if you don't birdie the first, you can't birdie all 18. Here we go.
Bingo.
That's what we're talking about. Listen to the optimist. Ladies and gentlemen, your next shot, your best shot with Mark Schlaubbach.
Yeah, more.
Appreciate you, man. What a stud that guy is.
Yeah, he is.
The man. He's go dogs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blocky's back to even after a phenomenal
birdie
couple. He might.
Come on, Block.
Oh, he birdied 13 there, which 13's a par 4, 365 yards. It's a
short one.
13th, and whenever it comes to how hard the hole is compared to the rest, what normal score is. He has a birdie to start this thing. We saw it from 200 yards out. Schlaubbach just said inside 20 feet, he never misses.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I mean, he's playing well.
That'd be fun.
Could be a lot worse. Bryson's 7 over.
DeChambeau?
Yep. Guess YouTube golf is cutting it out.
Easy.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Guy's a YouTube golfer now. He's only playing major championships, and guess he's only going to be playing the first 2 rounds of major championships.
That's not true.
Just because he rolled one from one side of the green to the other side of the green, got him bummed out a little bit.
Very.
Yeah, got him bummed out a little bit. He moved on.
Oh, yeah, he also had it hit from someone's front porch, too.
Well, I mean, Tiger Woods was a scrambler as well. We don't know what DeChambeau's going to do tomorrow on this course.
You're right. It's going to be tough, but yeah.
DeChambeau's seemingly going through it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's seemingly going through it a little bit. We hope he finds his way because whenever he's golfing, What a moment for him. We got kids standing on stages next to tee boxes on 14. We got
I love that.
There was did you see the
elevated?
There was like 5 ladies who had, the elevated stages on 14, I guess. The lads just right next door. Oh, yeah, it's right behind our house. What do you mean right behind our house? Well, like, there's like an 8-foot fence and then it's hole 14 right there. It's one of the benefits of living on this course. Is there any way you can fix this for us? What if we built a 10-foot kind of like rise?
I'm sure the course loves that. I'm sure the PGA loves that.
The bros over there are like, yo, you could do that? Yeah.
Let's go.
Bro, we will hang. They're just standing there just right above them. Good luck, boys. Think about Sunday, 14.
Oh.
It's going to matter.
They're about to see Blocky.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on to the lids, boys, at 14. They're going to want to explode up there from the riser. You can't hold your Blocky excitement in just a little bit more.
Until he gives you one of these. Hey, throw me a beer. Let's shotgun one right now, boys. Right after I drive this thing 250 freaking yards.
It'll be no surprise if Blocky, post-hole 14 today, scores a 6-under. After he runs into those.
I'm going back. I got to go back.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, football is king. We understand that. We're lucky for it. And if you're a Super Bowl champion and you represent a city, you're going to be asked to voice over the Open to a major for golf.
How much is Philly figured in the history of America? And golf? I am at liberty to say, and that says everything. My town has seen it all. Huge moments made possible by men determined to set a new course. We're taming all one. Philly demands respect for all it stands for and everything it's seen. Inside stately buildings and on tricky fairways and greens. Here, where independence was declared, we the people are united by love of country, city, and this week, the PGA Championship.
Well done.
Good work, Dominic.
Very good, very good.
We the people.
Can understand every word.
Absolutely.
Who else was in consideration, you think, for that?
Nobody. Jason Kelsey, maybe, but I assume he's got something else going on.
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg's from Boston.
What the hell are you?
You're right, he is from Boston.
Possibly
What
Nick
the
Cage.
fuck was that? That
Eagles.
was unbelievable.
I'm sorry, was he not an
Oh,
Eagle?
you want him to be Vince Papale?
Papale.
Okay, maybe Vince Papale.
Nick Cage from National Treasure might have been up there.
We're just doing Philly movies now?
Yeah, just people who have appeared
Rocky
in
Balboa.
Philadelphia.
I mean, Stallone would be incredible.
Stallone.
Tom Hanks.
I don't think
Did he get an 80s movie?
You're talking about that one from way back whenever he was...
Philadelphia with Denzel.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that could be a good tie.
What about Coop?
Oh, yeah.
That's the answer.
Coop.
Shit. They screwed
Maybe
it
Sunday. Maybe Sunday they'll have a special presentation where he's there live and he starts the whole tournament.
Yeah, I assume there'll be multiple things. Sirianni better get in the game, too. I want to see him up on that high rise.
up. I think they asked him to, but Big Dom was like, no, just me.
We got a massive deal happening down there in Miami. Devon A-Chain has reached a new 4-year, $68 million contract with $32 million guaranteed. Schulte is the one that reports that. Schefter amplifies it. Congrats to the Dolphins getting the running back signed up. Feels like the running back position is all of a sudden getting a little bit more paid, getting a little bit more appreciated. Is that a sign of the times or a sign of the players? Let's get a Bubba Gumpino, diehard Dolphins fan. This guy has been something that you've been proud of. Wasn't there a little bit of a contract conversation for like the last year or so happening around him?
Yeah, there was always rumblings that he could be traded, but I'm glad we paid him. It is a rebuild, I get that, but keeping guys like this, there's rumors we're going to pay Jordan Brooks as well. These are the cornerstone guys of the franchise you got to keep around.
Okay, AJ, as you're trying to build the future, obviously with a couple different Green Bay Packers people coming down to Miami and kind of turning over the entire building, there is a floor for the amount of money that you have to spend. It's fascinating whenever teams are like trying to figure out who they're going to be, what they're going to be. They pay Malik a good amount of money to play quarterback. They just paid A-Chan. Feels like they're trying to pick and choose what they want their building to be through the guys that they're keeping around or bringing in and paying, AJ.
Yeah, I think that's one of the toughest things. That's what makes great GMs and great scouts and evaluators and coaches hey, yeah, who do we pay? Because you know that when your team is good, you cannot pay everybody. And when you're going through a rebuild, you got to find, hey, who are the cornerstones that we trust to pay and who has also been productive for this franchise. And obviously, A-Chain has been very productive for them. So good on him for getting a big extension. I'm just glad that you mentioned it. I think the running back position has, I don't know, it's coming back into a good light. It was it lost its luster. People thought you could just, we can get a couple guys in there and we'll just give them the ball. It doesn't matter. We don't need a stud back. And I think now we're coming back to that a little bit to where a great running back can really, really make a team, like, take them to the next level.
Yeah, going to have to be, too, in this modern NFL. You're going to have to be able to run the ball. Quarterbacks have to be able to complete a pass. We're going to need a 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12. At some point, if we want to win a Super Bowl, quarterback is going to have to complete a pass. That is going to have to be a part of your offense. But if you can't run the rock, you ain't going to do shit in the playoffs. Got to be able to run the rock. Got to be able to have somebody do it. Paying a running back, obviously, to your point a few years ago, was not worth the salary cap percentages, allegedly, to people. And then you watch Philadelphia Eagles with Saquon Barkley win a Super Bowl, and everybody goes, oh, I didn't know that this is what this was. And now everybody's going to continue to mimic that. We have Jonathan Taylor here in Indianapolis, so hopefully we're rewarded with a lot of primetime games.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Hopefully because we got Jonathan Taylor. But I do like that is a sign of the times of what football is. We're pounding the rock, con man.
Yeah, and offenses seem to be kind of taking like those top 8, 10 guys. Like there is a separator, it feels like, in H.N.'s one of those guys, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan. We're like, hey, McCaffrey, of course. We have a running back that we're going to hand the ball to, 18, 20 times a game, but he's also going to catch, 9 to 12 passes a game. Like that seems to be the difference. And in NFL offenses now, that seems to be like a focal point. Like, hey, yes, H.N. is going to get the ball. He's going to get tosses. He's going to get, in between the tackles, but we're also going to put him in the slot. And then he's going to run, a bunch of routes the entire game. Like Jeremiah Love, for instance, there's a clip of him running just a little angle route. And that in itself feels like a complete game changer for some of these teams. Yeah, here it is. That's the one. And it feels like
covering that.
Yeah, if you have a running back that can do both of those things, you're in a very good spot to be paid.
Obviously, that juke is filthy, and being able to run a route is an extra weapon, especially because linebackers have to cover him with the way a matchup is for a running back. So if you're able to get out, catch, and create magic, you certainly become a quarterback's best friend. Has he got tape on his left ankle here?
A little bit.
It's for looks. He just wants to look sweet.
Oh, you think it's like a one glove type thing? Would do one spat?
Spat.
Yeah, I think so.
One spat's not a bad idea.
That is cool.
I don't think I ever really thought of that. You were a click-clack guy, so you had to spat, right?
Yeah, I did early on, no question. It was the first year they had cleats, and they were not, they weren't licensed yet in the NFL.
The spat was so cool looking.
Oh, yeah, that was the best.
It had such a good run.
Feels so good, too.
Oh, really? You like the cast feel there? You feel like you can kind of do whatever you need to do?
Yeah, I spat it every day for practice and games, but I used like stretch tape though. It wasn't like locking my ankle. It was not for ankle stability at all.
What was it for?
Feel, and it's just how once I started in college, you weren't allowed to spat. We would try to trick Luke Fick, our linebacker coach, come out for warm-ups, no spat, nothing on, and then every once in a while, Luke would, after our team meeting, he would go take the elevator up to the box, and we'd spat real quick and come back on the field. And Luke was up in the box. The game started. He couldn't yell at us for spatting, so we knew you had to win the game because we lost the game and we spatted behind his back. He might, fight us.
Yeah, you got to win that. Yeah, if you lose because of a spat, especially going behind his back, yeah, I think Luke Fick.
And if you lose, it's because we spatted too, though. That's the thing. You guys out here taping your cleats in the bathroom after I leave the locker room. Why you think I'm stupid? I know what you're doing.
Well, you guys think you're special. You think this is what you need, and then we lose the game. How you do anything is how you do everything. And now I'm going to fight you. There's a nice little spat there from AJ.
I got kicked bad in the shin. I got a real high spat there on that left.
Oh, I like a little high spat, a little mid-range spat, a little low spat. You were spatting yourself. To those that don't know, a spat is a taped ankle outside of the cleat. Looks really cool. I mean, it was a super cool look. I like that you're doing your own spat, okay, because you're doing figure eights and L's around there and kind of going around up and down. But the sauce out of A.J. Hawk, could have never expected he was spatting himself down there with functional tape. It does. What's it there for? It just feels good, man. I just like the way it feels.
Locks you in. And I never wanted to have my laces flopping around. I always felt like you might click a cleat might catch one of the loops.
Yeah, click-clack. You don't want it to do that. Let's continue in football news, shall we? The ACC commissioner, Jim Phillips, started talking about playoff expansion, and he dropped a little nugget about ESPN having some thoughts, AJ.
Yeah, ESPN's been pretty clear with all of us that they'd like it to stay at 12, maybe 14, but no higher than 16. And so that is, that's important. Yeah, they're our partner. They're our partner with the CFP. Obviously, they're our full partner here as it relates to the ACC. And so we'll continue to talk with them as it relates to the CFP piece of it. The championship game part of it, I don't know. I mean, that's down the road. But I have said before, when you look at championship games, and if you expand the playoff to that number, I think you end up going from regular season right into the playoff. I just think you end up doing that.
Okay, so obviously a lot of people have opinions on what the next schedule looks like, what everything looks like, what the playoff obviously looks like. We're in the middle of creating this college football playoff, so there is some evolution taking place right in front of our eyes. The ranking, who has home, when has home, they're trying to move the calendar so it doesn't last as long. ESPN, though, coming out and saying, we would like this to remain at 12. Okay, if we're going to go up to 16, cool. We cannot be doing 24. That's a fascinating piece of information for that. If it does get to 24, everybody's going to say ESPN's ruining it. They want more teams. They want more games. And ESPN's actually here now on the record, I guess, with Jim Phillips, ACC commissioner. I wonder if ESPN knew that he was going to be saying this publicly, saying, hey, we would actually just rather, let's get it right. Like, let's get to 12. Interesting because they are a partner, have paid a lot of money. Interesting because ESPN is kind of the landlord of the college football playoffs where they can lease out to other networks and everything like that, which they have tried to do. But also interesting because ESPN and the people that are in charge of the college football, and we've gotten to see this because of College Game Day and meet these people are obsessed with college football. I mean, like old school college football people. So I think anytime the ESPN people are always painted in like they're trying to take every dollar, it's like bowl season became a little ridiculous, but I think a lot of people wanted to play in bowl games. That kind of became its own thing. But when you talk about the people with the college football decision, they are obsessed with it. Now, does everybody agree with the way in which they are obsessed with it? Maybe not. But I do appreciate the fact that it's come out now that ESPN's like, we don't want all this shit actually, even though people would assume that we would want that because it's more shit for us to put on air. And how do you feel about the potential expansion now that we know? I think Petiti wanted to move. ACC commissioner there just kind of gave a little on the fence answer. ESPN doesn't want to move. How do you feel, AJ? And what do you think inevitably ends up happening with it all?
I think from what I hear everybody talk about, it's going to go to 16 games. We've heard that, hey, you're not going to go to 14. Like, if you're going to go from 12, you're not just going to go to 14. I think you go to 16 teams. Now, it sounds like it's not going to get to 24. That's just what they're guarding against. Like, hey, 16, we're cool with 24. We're not even going to talk about that. I like where they're at. I like what they're doing now with 12. Mario Cristobal, I know you had a clip come out yesterday or whatever, talking, hey, like, I like 12 teams, and let's end the season as much earlier than we do right now. I guess what national championships January 20-something this upcoming year.
Yeah.
So,
after a transfer window.
So hard for coaches to do anything. Like, how do you, if you are there, like if you are lucky enough to be playing a national championship game, like you're spinning a lot of plates trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and college football, the product is awesome.
Yeah.
Up and to the right has been for the last half decade or so since post-COVID. Everybody really has fallen in love with college football. Obviously, there could be more. But the playoffs have become, incredibly, I guess they always have been. You go back to the BCS, you go back to the old school, you go back to 2 teams, you go back to 4 teams. There's always going to be like some contentious mindset around it. But as the playoffs continue, you can tell who the 2 teams are.
Yeah.
I think you can kind of tell, or the 3 or 4 teams. Like, hey, these are always going to be the 3 or 4. If you add on a bunch more teams, do we think we're going to miss potentially the teams that could get hot?
Some massacres. We'll have some massacres.
Maybe, but Notre Dame would have got in last year, and they were one of the best teams in college football last year. Miami was, a 10 seed last year? So Miami never would have made the national championship, and obviously in the 4-team era. Ohio State was, a 6 or an 8? 8 when they made it. I think it has been really good going from 4 to 12. I don't think 24 is the right move because I am in the boat where I don't want it to, I don't want – not that it would. I don't want guys in Ohio State, Michigan resting because that game doesn't matter. Like, hey, we're already in the playoffs or whatever. So you need to, if you did do that, or if you go to 16, you need to incentivize where there's more rounds at home in the playoffs so that you don't have guys resting. You need to have a reason to play in every single game. But no, 24 is a lot. 16 is probably where it's going to go. And yes, can we shorten the time between rounds, please?
We need to do that before the first round. Here's the first round if there was a 24 team. This was by CBS Sports, I believe, pieced this one together. Iowa makes it against Miami. James Madison, obviously representing the Power 5 against Alabama. Georgia Tech, Notre Dame. Houston, BYU. Tulane, Texas. Is that West Virginia?
No.
No, just normal Virginia.
Virginia.
You can make an argument.
From what year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year.
You can make an argument for a lot of the dogs in this one.
Well, yeah. But I do think, inevitably, do we get down to Indiana, Miami? Inevitably.
Yeah, and that's the problem with this one. It's like, hey, number 24, James Madison. Yeah, they were in it last year. That can't happen. And I get that James Madison covered, and it was a hell of a cover. But at one point, that was a, 5-score game. Like even right now, there still has to be that type of change if we're just looking for the best teams to be in it.
Okay, let's pivot away from college ball and let's go to the MLB. We had Jacob Mizorowski on with us, and we talked about the comeback in basketball. We talked about the massive comeback in the NHL playoffs. MLB last night had a bunch of comebacks, bunch of walk-offs. We're talking about fireworks all over the place. AJ, let's go to Toronto. Jays and Rays. Bottom of the 10th. 3-1 Tampa. Toronto. Grand salami. Walk-off dub in extra innings. Varsho says goodbye. Let's go to Mets Tigers. Carson Bench. Bottom of the 10th. Whole shot. Bring them home. Mets win over the Tigers. Tigers having a tough Detroit.
Yeah, they're
tough on the down and down.
Astros, Mariners. Here's Zach Cole in the 10th. Extra innings, walk-off, single. Congrats to the Astros getting a massive dub. Rangers, Diamondbacks. This, boom. What a shot. Bottom of the 9th. Bring them home. That's a dub. In extra, celebrate the hell. Love the hat going off. Nationals, Reds. How about this Reds team? They're on a bit of a schneid. Then they found it. Then let's go to the top of the 10th in Cincinnati. Washington, goodbye from Dalen Lowell. 2-run homer in the top of the 10th. And then let's go to Padres, Brewers. San Diego. Slam Diego. Dahn. Brewers heartbroken as a big dong in the top of the 9th sends the Slam Diego Padres out of Milwaukee with a dub. MLB showing up, man. Every single night there's fireworks. Obviously, Paul Skeens is pitching like 7-8 innings of no-hitter stuff in that game there before Slam Diego decided to win it late. Jacob Mizorowski, 49 pitches over 100 miles an hour. This guy's literally a state fair object, AJ. That's what this thing. Go watch the fast baseball throwing guy here with the Milwaukee Brewers, AJ.
I mean, how long until this guy's arm falls off? I mean, he was awesome. He always is when he comes on the show, but man, it is fun to watch. It truly is. Look how skinny he is as well. I know he's got long levers, a strong lever, as we have said. I know he's tall and he can really torque it.
Shohei Ohtani's on the mound again. He's on a potential run to win all the awards in the pitching category. The hitting has been up and down, but Shohei on the mound has been dominant. I love this. He told us at the All-Star celebration press conference for the Home Run Derby and All-Star weekend there that he views himself as a pitcher who can hit. Now he's getting an opportunity to do a full season, con man, and he is delivering. He is filthy on the mound.
Yeah, and it feels like pitching is as cool as it's ever been because of the pitch clock, maybe, or maybe it's just because it is something that I respect a little more after seeing some of these guys and what they're doing, like him, Skeens, Mizorowski. It feels as though before, SummerSlam home runs are cool, but now we have these pitchers who are balling out, and Shohei is one of the guys that can swing the freaking bat, too.
Only two batters, Judge and Schwarbo, who are both having incredible seasons right now, have more MLB home runs than Shohei Ohtani since Shohei's MLB debut. And only one pitcher, DeGrom, legend, has a lower ERA with 500-plus innings than Shohei Ohtani since Shohei's MLB debut. In the batter's box and on the mound, that's baseball. This guy's best. I can't believe we get to watch this guy. He's fun. I mean, baseball is really doing it right now, and the stars are showing up, and he might be the biggest they've ever had.
And there's some new stars. Have to mention Murakami. The guy from the Chicago White Sox is electrifying.
Munetaka Murakami?
Bingo. Yeah, power. Yeah, that's all he's got. I think he's also tied for the lead in home runs as well, or at least he's at that 15-16 mark. He is electric.
Okay, let's go to the NFL briefly here. Malik Nabers had another procedure on his knee and that had ACL recovery happening. He got a scope done because he had some stiffness. Now, I did a little bit of research on this, AJ. Anytime you're doing a second procedure after an ACL surgery, you have to wonder, is everything going to be okay? Is Malik Nabers going to be all right? Obviously, he's incredibly fast and he's twitchy, and he is a prospect that the NFL could potentially tell stories about with how great he could be, especially at primetime, week 1, week 2, brand new offense. Nabers goes crazy, fresh off an ACL. Okay, so he got another procedure because he was experiencing stiffness. Bruce Brown, who follows along with Malik Nabers, is one of Malik Nabers' biggest fan, actually said, seems like Malik Nabers' social stuff not the most positive right now. Okay, it feels like he might be going through a little something. What I think potentially happened after making some calls to people that have been in the rehabilitation of NFL athlete situation is he potentially got a cyclops lesion in there. Okay, what is a cyclops lesion? Well, a cyclops lesion is a cluster of scar tissue that kind of builds up, and it prohibits you from full extension. Okay, so after you get a surgery on anything, there's scar tissue that builds up whenever the skin is put back together, both under the skin and on the skin. There's something that is done where it's a metal wand that is basically trying to break up the scar tissue. It is cruel and unusual punishment. AJ, would you not agree?
Yeah, called Graston.
Okay, it's called grass. It's the worst. They are rubbing.
It hurts a lot.
Exposed nerves. I mean, it is both on top and on the bottom of the skin. And they're just rubbing this metal bar just across it, okay, just right up and down. It's a part of the recovery because scar tissue being broken up is a huge piece of full recovery. So Malik Nabers, what we think, this is just according to source, says, and also somebody that's been through some knee surgeries, not an ACL, but through some knee surgeries, is a cyclops lesion potentially formed of scar tissue, not because he wasn't doing it, but just potentially because something happens. So they did a procedure to clear out that scar tissue. They will have to now, once again, beat down the scar tissue on the other side. None of this is fun. This is all very miserable stuff, very painful stuff that you have to sign up and go through. But from who we talk to, and I assume they feel the same way, as soon as he's able to get full extension after this, which he will be able to do, there should be no holdbacks at all for what Malik Nabers is doing. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what I've learned about the situation. But anytime you do surgery or procedure, some things can go wrong, even the shit you don't even think about, like, scar tissue potentially coming together and prohibiting full extension, which especially would be needed for a wide receiver.
Yeah, don't you think what was interesting, I guess, in the tweet, they didn't update his timetable. They didn't say he's going to be an extra 6 weeks or 4 weeks. That's a good sign, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I expect the people that I talked to, multiple, they said this will be, he should be good. And the stiffness that he was experiencing was probably the lack of an ability to fully go, which happens afterwards. And then the good news is they found out why. Not knowing why you're not able, that's problematic. Hey, is it a muscle thing or whatever? Them finding out what it was, like some scar tissue that we need to clear out, is probably the reason for this. Good news. We'll pull for him. Come on, Leak. We can't wait to watch you back out there. We did not talk to Leak or his doctor, but we are talking. We've talked to people that have experienced these types of things in the past and what it potentially could be. Obviously, whenever it comes out, whatever it comes out, just know that we are super positive, and Malik is going through things that are not fun right now. The scar tissue, it is. You got to sign up for it, too. You got to wake up. Hey, you're up at 5:30 a.m. What are you doing? Well, I'm going in here to get recovery. And then they're going to be just scraping every nerve. And you just got to sit there. We'll take a break. Thank God. It still hurts during the break.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's irritating.
Guys can't use Toradol?
I don't know, actually.
To get treatment like that?
It's actually very interesting.
Could you imagine? That is a very slippery slope. Don't say that, okay?
I'm just saying.
We don't need to be powering up for that. But, boy, I don't know how I didn't think about that at the time. I'm happy.
I know guys that have had, getting ACL, they had to get all doped up to have them do the whole, you bend your knee, especially early on out of surgery. Like they couldn't handle it, and they had to take
just the tiny little movement is such an accomplishment. But to get to it after surgery, especially for Malik Nabers is one of the most explosive athletes of all time. So just having to move knee and then slide knee, lift body, it all is so minuscule and it's all so annoying. Leak, we all can't wait for you to get back out there. Sorry you have to go through it. We hope you be okay. Let's pivot away from that back to a major, ladies and gentlemen, boots on the ground. A guy who did a golf round with Scotty Scheffler the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanford Steve.
Yay, Steve.
How you doing, Steve?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
Okay, where are you at right now? It looks gorgeous. The clouds look like they're out of a movie set.
It's spectacular here. I'm sitting on the 18th green on our setup. Rory is right over there. You can't see it, but he's on 9. He went a little right on his drive. He's finishing up his round. I'll tell you one thing, guys. The confidence of the players, the last 3 days walking around with them playing, they thought they were going to absolutely murder this place. And I thought the score, after hearing them talk, I thought the scores were going to be a lot lower, and I thought we were going to have a lot more guys lower. I know the afternoon's wave is just getting going here. I thought somebody would shoot a 63 today. It sets up perfect. Guys love drivers off the deck, on the tee box, and then hitting pitch wedge 9 in. It seemed pretty simple for the first 3 days, but we got a bunch of rain last night. So the guys were talking how much different is the course going to be on Thursday. I think we're seeing it play a little tougher, which is great.
67 is the current lowest thus far that has been posted. There's obviously a lot of golfers still to finish their rounds. Day one here of the PGA Championship. You were out there with Scotty Scheffler 2 days ago, or yesterday maybe. What was that like? I mean, how's that happen? You just golf and walk and hang with Scotty Scheffler and Scott Van Pelt through, like, randomly, or what? How's this go?
It is a very thing I am thankful for, Pat. Like, we go out, everybody's playing Monday and Tuesday, and Scott and I, for years now since we've been doing the PGA, we'll go out to the range. Hey, when are you guys going to play a practice round? Would you mind if we joined? And Scotty's always out there. Him and Gary Woodland, Sam Burns, we walked with Tuesday. Scotty was just playing by himself Monday. And, somebody was out there, grabbing pictures, and that's what you saw. It was, overcast day. He was in a hoodie. I was like, I don't know if I can ever play golf in a hoodie, but he's the man. So down to earth. It's literally just, we stay away. Like, if there's an acknowledgement if he's working on something with his coach Randy Smith or his great caddy Ted Scott. We keep our space, but the size of these fairways, there's a lot of downtime, and we're talking Texas football, we're talking Cowboys, Stars got eliminated, his Mavericks, had a rough season, but Cooper Flagg. But I mean, he's a giant sports fan. You guys have had him on, and that's what it is. I mean, these guys are awesome. Gary Woodland, obviously, his story is incredible, but all he wants to talk is NIL and what KU and Bill Self are doing. He's obviously a big Chiefs fan too, so it's just great to be able to pick those guys' brain about what they're trying to do out here, and then we're just having a good time in sports. It's an awesome deal, and I feel so fortunate. It's like Tuesday was 70 degrees and beautiful. We're out with those three guys. It was like fake life. Like it's
all of it's a fake life, and I'll tell you what, you're crushing it all, and we're thankful that there's guys out there that aren't living a fake life and grinding on the range to become the golfers that they're becoming. If somebody shoots a 63 here to start this entire weekend, that would be absurd over there, especially with some of the misses that we've already seen earlier. The crowd sounds and looks like it's going to be awesome throughout the weekend. There's 10-foot risers. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Steve, I was wondering how the Johns are doing out there with the golfers. I know the PGA Tour has been talking about how the crowd has been recently this year. And then I also saw some Johns yelling at Scotty about being a Cowboys fan already. How's the crowd out there? Let's just say they're still getting warmed up, Tone. When you see it, we were out here, Scott and I on the porch, and the Eagles chants already started. Scott saying he's obviously a Commanders fan. He says "Go Birds," but he doesn't mean it. But yeah, it's steadily been climbing. I just think with the energy and these guys, as they get, more familiar with the course, we're going to get a ton of birdies. We've seen some eagles. Rahm hooped one in. The energy of this place, it's spectacular. The Johns are great. They're spread out all over the place. Friends of mine that came, they said they haven't had – it was the easiest event they've been to, getting in and out. And the best thing about PGA is, concessions are free. You just walk in, freshly made burgers, dogs, soda, water. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is sound awesome.
No. You have to pay for the beers there.
Oh, okay. Because I want another beer. Hey, have a great time out there. We'll continue to follow along. You're the best.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Good luck.
Hey, we were back. I was back in college football for like 6 minutes the other night. Saw your big-ass head. Missed those days. Can't wait for the season. You're the best. It's Stanford Steve, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Steve.
What a good time it's going to be for golf this weekend as another major tees off here on this Thursday, May 14th. That's AJ Hawk. The boys are here. We'll continue digitally for a little bit. Huge day in this program's history. Should be a lot of fun. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you on the other side. Goodbye.
Well done.
I feel like I really hit that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know where I was going. By the way, you know that.
Found your way.
Yeah, we're
found a way.
Kind of out there in the woods.
Choose your own story.
You hold the pen.
Bingo.
But do you actually? Or is it maybe some super being, maybe God or Jesus Christ or, the universe? Who's actually holding the pen in your life?
Or is the pen holding you?
All we have to think about is who's holding the golf club. Okay, where's Blocky? Where
that's
the
a good question.
fuck is
Top of
Blocky?
the leaderboard. That's where he is.
He fucking better be, dude. 203
He's
yards.
even through 6.
Boom.
202 yards.
Pretty good.
I saw Rory's +3.
What? That blister?
That's what I just looked at.
I mean, how is he supposed to walk around Philadelphia with a blister all over his feet?
And that's why he's so smart. He had this ace in the hole excuse before he even teed off.
It's not an excuse.
You ever ripped a toenail off?
Yes, I have. I ripped a fingernail off, and you know what I didn't do? Tell everybody about it. So I
think I remember you.
He had the limp. Why are you limping, Rory? There's a lot of conversation about you. You're obviously one of the most famous golfers on earth right now, and we're at a major. Why are you limping? He said, "Hey, I just fucking blister."
Take a look.
Looks like we know how the golf gods feel about him hanging around the Masters for 2 months before the tournament started.
This is not how that's going to be judged.
Okay, but he's on his way to missing the cut, so maybe it is.
We'll see how he closes out. He's Rory McIlroy.
That's true.
Where is Blocky right now? That's a good question.
Even.
He's even?
They're 6.
He to go.
About to make a push.
Somebody said he was going to be 6 over through 3. Who was that?
That was me.
A lot of time.
Oh,
The
Foxy's
Royals
wrong
fan.
again. Detroit's having a tough one. Last night, the Tigers give up a massive shot to lose lead. The Pistons give up a 9-0 run at the end of the game to go to overtime and then lose.
Red Wings are never going to be a playoff team again.
And Foxy's sitting over here going, this guy stinks. He doesn't. Okay, he hit from 202 yards to 23 inches. Maybe he needs to show a little bit of respect.
I will say, I called Blocky a dickhead yesterday. And I take that back. Because this guy's a gamer, okay? Hole 1 has all the pressure in the world. He knows the internet's
All the
talking
pressure
about
in the
him,
world.
and
Yeah,
he
the
sticks
weight
it
of the
to
world.
a couple inches. That's pretty good. Now he did double bogey 2 holes later. That's
Oh,
Fuck you.
Schlabach. Okay, we heard
And
it.
they got a birdie to get back to even.
Boom!
How about that?
I give Blocky some credit.
Michael, get off his block, more like it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys think those Johns on 14 are going to give him beers and like cheer him on? I think they're going to raise so much hell. From 14 to 18, I bet he shoots 6 over on those.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that
those
action.
guys are going to rattle him.
I'll take that
What
action.
kind of odds?
You know, that might have been what the Stanford Steve conversation was whenever he said with the boys this week, they felt really confident. I thought somebody was going to shoot a 63. There's no way the lads on 14 were literally hovering over their shoulders during the practice round. They had no idea that at the end of that tournament, you got real adversity, and it's 10 feet in the sky staring right down on you at the tee box. That's something you can't prepare for.
No.
That's the John's difference.
You also can't prepare for the fact that those kids are probably going to have some sort of speaker and they're going to be bumping on my block. And Block is going to walk up, oh shit, that's my song.
Yeah.
And he's going to pipe a drive 350 yards.
Everything is everything.
He's getting Lambeau leap right into their arms.
Yeah.
And they're only 5 deep right now. Wait till Saturday and Sunday. I bet they're about 20, 30 deep.
Yeah, that thing was built for power. Look at the amount of metal that was.
I hope the PGA gets pissed and starts building the wall taller, and the boys just have to keep building their stage higher and higher to see over time.
I have faith in this. No offense to PGA, they just got a lot of other things to deal with. Feels like these lads would only focus on battling against who can get higher. I would say the lads on the stage would win every single time here. If they went from an 8-foot fence to a 16-foot fence, I think the lads get to 17 feet within 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, or just
I hope it's good craftsmanship. That's all I hope.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia.
Those guys will buy deer blinds, and they'll just set those up.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I like that these people who live on these courses, this course, are doing that. Like, you saw the ladies that just had they had little umbrellas. They were just sitting right there, right on the edge of the fairway in their backyard. I'm going to go up to the house. Anybody do anything?
Good.
Come back down, sit there. That's great. Very rarely do you see that at the majors. You saw it in Europe, right? That one house was just right
that
in the
guy
middle.
with his cows.
Yeah, it's like, that's live on a golf course, they say. It'll be fun, they say. I didn't know they also say, like, just fucking park it at 10 feet above the sky or above earth, just watch them play. And also, you're going to be eating golf balls in your backyard.
AJ does it at Jack's tournament every year. It's not a major, but it's up there. It's an elevated event.
What does AJ do?
He goes to those
I
houses.
attend those. Yeah, there's the houses there they built a fence up on everyone's backyard, and they got to pay for a gate cut if you want to get in and out. But yeah, people have gigantic house parties, and yeah, it's a huge party. Like, I realized that when I was in college and I went to Memorial Tournament. Like, geez, this is a giant, awesome party with some golf happening.
Golf's good.
It's golf, but louder.
It's a party, yeah. Party sport.
Liv's kind of have a little one. John Rahm, 101 yards out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's he up to?
Think he's even.
Ramie's even.
Tom Smith, I think, had a hot start. He's back to even.
The lads are okay being even, I think.
Yeah,
Brooks is
exactly.
all right, isn't he?
Even's good, yeah.
And maybe we get Scoot here. Let's go.
Yeah, Koepka was 1 under whenever I saw him. That was a long time ago. I don't know where he's at now.
I think I saw he was still 1 under.
Well, Scooty's about to tee off, too, and if that wind dies down, he may shoot a 61.
Yep. Let's go.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're back tomorrow for a beautiful feel-good Friday. I think it's going to be packed to the gills.
Hell yeah, always is.
We'll be with great vibes as we go into another weekend that's going to be the best weekend of all time because it's the next one.
Hell yeah.
So that's how we should be viewing it because we're lucky to be here. We're thankful to be here. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. Great job, boys. Great job, boys.
You too, dude.
Great job.
In the back, good work out there, boys.
Major
Great
weekend.
job out there, boys. Good show, boys.
And remember, we can't do any of this without you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.